Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shoot the Shit. I'm James, and this is Charles with me, and we're just going to be talking I say really quickly, but I'm not going to say that. We're going to be talking about the new UAs for D&D. Something that
Yeah.
we do quite a bit on this channel. We just like dissecting game dev documents and seeing what goes on with them. So,
hmm There, I said this earlier, but there are 8 subclasses.
yup.
Even if we spent 30 minutes on each, we could be here. But I don't think we're going to spend 30 minutes on each, actually,
No.
because like I think like the second one, I'm just going to be like, I don't want to talk about it all.
Just gonna
That's a tease.
scroll down and it's a
I'm like,
tease. Wait a minute.
yeah, that's what they in the business they call a tease, right? To keep watching.
Oh yeah,
Watch
yeah, yeah.
us,
No, you
please.
gotta skip around, but yeah,
Yeah,
but we can just start on a bit of a slow roll. There's stuff that's going
yeah.
on. Hey Charles, I noticed you like old 3.5 style releases of Dungeons and Dragons content.
I do.
Did you
This is true.
notice there's a splat book coming out?
Yes. I'm super interested, right?
Mm-hmm.
It we need these.
The Artificer is getting its
It's
own
it's
splat book.
happening.
It's happening. Where they
It's happening.
finally we're gonna get the Way of the Fighter. We're gonna get
Yeah.
oh man.
Oh my goodness, the quintessential monk win.
Never. Oh,
Never.
there's so many
Yeah, monk.
subclasses already.
Yeah, and monk is person not appearing in this film in this episode because there is no monk subclass. If you're waiting for that, you can don't leave. I was going to say you can leave, but don't leave.
Don't leave. Stay longer. I think
hmm
there's not a paladin either. I want to say
Yeah, no, I don't believe there
no.
is.
No,
It,
we get
eh,
a we get a bard, a cleric, a rogue, a sorcerer, a warlock, an artificer,
uh,
and a ranger.
yeah,
Ooh.
and there's two warlocks. Like what?
Oh yeah, that's right. There's double up on warlock because double fuck you paladins.
I mean, horror subclasses, I guess.
I'll be honest. I feel like
Paladins
the
are only scary when they're lawful stupid.
paladins are
That's not
scary
true.
when they have
Paladins.
spell slots to smite with, and let's be
Yeah.
honest, they can do that with any subclass, so it doesn't really matter.
Well,
Also,
that's scary for the DM, not for the players, right?
it's scary for everybody. What are you talking about? I'm
Fair.
terrified. But yeah, there's a bit of news items. I forget whether or not
hmm
this was stated last time. Uh, last time I think we talked about how Chris Perkins left Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Uh,
hmm
basically, I think retiring on a time schedule that he was kind of already hinting towards anyway, and backing out of stuff
hmm
slowly and doing stuff. What I was not expecting was for Jeremy Crawford to also leave.
Yes.
That that feels okay. One thing is okay, Chris kind of wanted to go anything. Two things that feels like
Yeah.
an indictment, and it's also very
Yeah.
interesting because I do believe that Chris Perkins is still going to be running the PAX game for Ack Inc.
Huh.
this weekend.
As a freelancer.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my.
it's weird, right? Because that game was started as a fourth ed
Yep.
adventure live play podcast where
Yep.
I forget if it was like Dungeon the Mad Mage or what. No, I think it was Tomb of Elemental Evil. I can't remember. Either way, they were doing a
Yeah, I think
dungeon
so.
to promote fourth edition, and it was Chris Perkins and Tycho Brahe and Gabe.
hmm
I'm forgetting their actual names
Don't
right
say
now.
Newell. Don't say Newell.
No. Half-Life 3 confirmed yet? No.
Yeah. If you give him enough magic items as his DM, maybe he'll do it.
Yeah, who knows? No, but it's I'm so dumb.
Mhm.
Holkins. Dang it. I
Oh,
love
oh,
Acquisitions
sure.
Incorporated. Especially C Team. Better show.
hmm
But yeah,
Wow.
no. That was their tagline, the better show of the two Acquisitions Incorporated. um
I'm just saying things because I don't watch other people
No,
play
I
D&D.
know, but it's one of those things where I loved watching them for years, and I've always enjoyed the live shows. Whenever we go to a PAX Unplugged, we catch the live show because it's one of the things that Tiki and I bonded with about
Mm-hmm.
PAX in the first place. Um,
Yeah.
and having Xavier Woods and Anna
Mm-hmm.
Prosser and everybody on the listing, it's always been. They just have a great vibe there, but it's weird to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like it was set as a partnership with Wizards to the point where they
Yeah.
released a book in partnership with
Mm-hmm.
Wizards. Again, I said this on the cast before, but obviously, in my estimation, one of the best books they ever made for Dungeons and Dragons Fifth
Mm-hmm.
Edition. If you don't have the Penny Arcade Acquisitions Incorporated sourcebook, you should. It's a great way to
Mm-hmm.
have a bunch of different neat ways to make individual characters feel more individualized and team oriented, and to have like your
Mm-hmm.
own. It's like Bastions before they had Bastions, is what I say.
Yeah.
They had base rules, they had vehicle rules, they had different jobs within the organization rules, franchising,
Mm-hmm.
merchandising. You know,
They had they had the cloak of billowing.
yeah. They
I
had the
think.
Cloak of Billowing. They also had
Yeah.
Jim's Magic Missile and
Mm-hmm.
basically Jim Dark Magic's version of Glibness, which
Yeah.
were both just great spells. Even better that you had to pay royalties to Jim Dark Magic if you cast it without having his name signed in the air as you.
Yep.
So, um, but just an overall great book and a way to show you a different spin on playing D&D at its core. And to this day, we still
Mm-hmm.
play our Acquisitions Incorporated home game. So it's
Mm.
but it's just interesting to me to see those two titans of WotC's D&D wing both
Yeah.
leaving the same year at the same time. I guess maybe they have NDAs, and even to this day
Yeah. Of
Mike
course.
Merles goes on so many interviews and talks a reasonable amount of trash.
Yeah.
But even still, he's
Yeah.
held by NDA with WotC to not really say certain things. And it's crazy to me. I want to know when that stuff gets up. I want to know what happened behind the scenes because
Yes.
obviously.
Yeah. No one wants that judicial hammer to their kneecaps, so
No,
they're just not going to do it.
no,
Uh.
they'll send the Pinkertons after you, man. You know how it is.
Yeah. Exactly. No, thank you. But yeah, it's interesting. It's like they both saw the release through, and that was it, right?
Yeah.
Like we're not like super early into it. I mean, it was called D&D 2024. It's 2025. We're a
Yeah.
little ways into it. But they just released all of the books like a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah.
They're just pivoting to splat books, other there's like we'll talk about it, but these horror subclasses are coming in some book coming up,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Gosh, do
So,
you think it's
they're
gonna be a Ravenloft book? Actually, here's what I want from them. I want it to be, if we want to start getting this, I want it to be a Domains of
yeah,
Dread book.
sure.
I want it to be an overarching
Sure.
Domains of Dread, and they actually just start. They're finally giving us what we want. We asked for all of the different old shit that's from 3 and 2 that they were just like, no, we're just doing Ravenloft, and then you do your own thing, and here's some more Forgotten Realms, and we're all just like,
Yeah.
just give us all the other domains already. Make other things. Give more. Give.
Yes, we want more options now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. The rules are as good as they're gonna get right now. That's a controversial take, but I'm just saying, hey, it's a TikTok upgrade. Now we're just adding the customization stuff. Then you could take another pass
Put the
because you
horror
will,
filter on
right?
it. You get the
Yeah,
bolt
exactly.
necks.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. Uh, okay, I want to start. If we can start talking about this, I want to talk about what's not here.
Okay.
What is not here, and I'm not talking about monk because whatever. Like, there's not. Maybe
Fair.
there's a horror
Fair.
subclass that could be. Where is the necromancer wizard? Where? WotC, where? Not in here. Where are they? I don't know.
What the fuck? Wait.
Yeah, you had to look, didn't you?
I was like, surely it's in the new man. No, it's not.
No.
Friends, I used to be a paragon of D&D knowledge. I'm slipping, and I
Wait,
couldn't be happier because honestly, I'm using that
absolutely
brain
yes.
juice for other things these days. But
Yeah,
ooh,
and
hmm,
what? Why?
it. I mean,
Is it just
but
not
death
ready?
death domain cleric though, Charles, you have to leave room for Jesus, and he is risen.
Yeah, yeah, and so is your party. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's isn't it just it's ridiculous, right? Like I thought the necromancer was there too because I was like, well, I don't see it in here. Oh, it must have already existed. And I looked and I went, no, what?
No, honestly, the wizard got the shortest shrift of anybody when it comes to stuff because literally
Yeah,
they don't even have all of their domains of Arcanum.
yeah, no,
They
they don't.
they couldn't because it would have been like, okay, five for everything. Wizards get 12, which is kind of what
Yep,
they already had, but it's one of those things, where you sit there and you look at it and you go, "Oh, wait, each of these is like three things." Which is
yeah,
always the reason that the Blade Singer is so beloved is because it's three cool things. It doesn't sit there
mm-hmm.
and go, you get to take half cost for your domain of casting, and that's all you really get. Sorry.
That's it.
I mean, at least
Hey,
this
but
time they're like,
scrolls,
choose a domain and you get an extra spell on this level, this level, this level.
yeah,
That's nice, finally. Because
yeah,
fudge,
and
it felt like Wizards didn't have as many spells as everybody else baseline, and you can't depend on your DM to just throw scrolls at you constantly. It's not like Baldur's Gate where I just
absolutely,
eat the world out of itself.
yeah, exactly, right. Like I'm not checking every single barrel, right? It's there's not a lot of opportunities to give you scrolls, and when you give magic items, you want to give something exciting. And I guess the scroll could be because I
Sure.
guess everyone can use scrolls, or most characters would be able to.
Yeah.
I always forget because I'm still in the 3.5. You have to use magic device, so I never remember the rules for
Right.
scrolls myself.
Right.
I'm like,
Damn rogue
wait, you could
rules.
do that?
Yeah, you just cast it. Well, I forget. You have to have spell slots, right? To use a scroll, I want to say.
I'm gonna find out right now.
That used to be the rule, I think, in 2014. I don't know if it still is in
I
2024.
thought so too. Let's see.
Like, I don't think you
I
have to
am
be the
getting
same
there.
kind of spellcaster, but I'm pretty sure you had to be a spellcaster. Or was that the older versions?
See,
Hmm.
that's what I thought.
Oh no, I'm becoming dumb in my old age.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare! Because I'm not far behind. Don't you dare! Uh,
Fair enough.
so okay. So, if a spell is on your spell list, you can
Yeah.
read the scroll and cast a spell without material components. Otherwise, the scroll is unintelligible.
Yeah. Is that
And that's
still new
2024.
rules? That's 2024. Yeah. So I mean, that was
2024,
the
yep.
thing. Like, because the rogue thief subclass, one of the coolest things
Yep.
they got about that was they can use scrolls.
Yep.
It's kind of
So,
dope as hell.
yeah, it's cool, and scrolls can be great, but like, it's the whole elixir problem, right? It's like, well, I better keep this. I don't know when I might need invisibility. You needed it like 5 times. You just never used it,
I mean,
right? So
the
it's
the trick is in the original 5e, they went out of their way to basically make it so we couldn't make scrolls. And as far
yeah,
as I
they did.
remember, the reason why they did that is because they were horrified of the stuff that used to happen in 3.5, where you had the rogue sitting there with like basically a Batman belt pouch of scrolls that they would
Yep.
just be like, we need this spell. Good thing I prepared.
Mhm.
Fireball. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I got 12 of
Yeah,
those. Let's
exactly.
go.
Mhm. Yeah, I get it. It always makes me go, What?" But there's some cool stuff I've seen with scrolls and UAs, and maybe that'll come back. Maybe.
Yeah, the scroll
I
wizard
remember I.
seemed interesting,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
it was also like, here's a limited resource. You craft one of these every so often. I mean,
Yeah.
I still haven't interacted much with the 2024 rules. I'm going to be honest. Like,
Me
nobody
either.
wants to play it.
I in
People don't
a
want to
game on the
learn
channel.
modification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a game on the channel, we started just 2020 or 2024, 2014, And now, we're playing on Foundry, and something happened, and I think my counterspell was updated, but not a lot of my other spells.
Mm.
And that is dire. I don't want that because counterspell is one of the spells that got nerfed in an
It's not a good.
interesting way, but nerfed. Yeah.
Let me be
And it
honest.
was
Let
one
me
of
be
my
honest. It's a great update. Counterspell was too
sure,
strong,
yes.
and its ability
It
to just
was.
say no was
Yes.
insane to combat encounters
Yep.
on both
Absolutely
sides.
crazy. However, in this game, uh we need a traditional wizard. Like when I started, we had one.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. And so I'm the bard kind of Zoid birding around. Like, here's bardic inspiration. Oh, I'll fix charm. I'll do, so counterspell was the one thing that I could do not on my turn to help out.
Yeah,
And I never abused it. I'm not gonna it's Philip who's running it. I'm not gonna make his life a living hell.
there's no reason to. Philip's
Maybe
a
every
very
once
fair
in a while.
DM.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But when it changed, I was like, oh God, maybe I'll just change the whole Bard over to 2024 because Bard in 2024 is a prepared spellcaster and it would help my position in the party anyway.
Yeah.
So who knows, right? So I do want to interact with it at some point. But yeah, I don't want to have a whole nother game. Like, yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to do what the channel says and do a one shot at some point.
I mean, we were talking about doing a maps game. I was just listening through the backlog of stuff that we have. By the way,
Mm-hmm.
I had them posting on a schedule, so everything but our
Mm,
first episode, our episode 1 of Fabio Ultimo is posted up now on the YouTube channel. If you would like to go view it there, plus the
ah,
word underscore, no, plus the word one, the number shot, the word no underscores on YouTube, right?
yes,
Yeah,
probably.
we're over there. We hang out.
You're smart. You could figure it out.
Yeah, I believe in all of you, all several. Um,
Several. Yeah.
but yeah, so it's interesting. I'm still enjoying all the UAs. I'm still enjoying looking at all of this stuff. It's
Yeah.
just one of those things where it's like I'm it's the release cadence seems to be tweaking back up to the point where it was previously, where we're getting release
Yeah.
cadences for different I guess now splat books. So we're gonna have a
Yeah.
horror splat book maybe, but we have an artificer
Yep.
splat book coming out for Eberron, which I
Yeah.
assume is mostly going to be about the artificer based on the name of it.
Yeah. Uh, I caught an article that had what was coming in it. I'll find that real quick.
Okay.
Let's see. Was it an article? I'm checking. I think it was someone on Reddit who just posted the press release. Yeah. So yeah, I'll read the whole thing. Look, we're not shilling for WotC. Honestly, like we'll play anything.
Yeah.
However, I'll read this. I won't be too excited. So, forge wonders in the world of Eberron, where magic meets marvelous invention. Play as the Artificer, the ultimate creative class. Interesting. You're not just an inventor or a spellcaster, you're an innovator, a bold hearted visionary, fusing together magic and technology to craft extraordinary creation. Okay, so what's in it? 4 revised Artificer subclasses and 1 new subclass, the Cartographer. 5 revised species, 17 backgrounds, 28 feats, new spells, bastions, magic items, campaign templates, and 20 monsters, right? Now, one of the things that's in here is the half elf that wasn't in 2024 Player's Handbook, which I didn't even notice
Yeah.
that's not in there, but it is here. But it's the Eberron version, the Korrivar. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
The twin soul basically, right?
yes, yeah.
Yeah, they have to
So
have
that's
that there
coming in.
because it's a big deal in Eberron.
Oh yeah, and I would bet that so there's Artificer subclasses, nobody else, right? Artificer subclasses. Then there's 28 feats, so that's gonna be more than just for the Artificer for sure. That's gonna be a lot of Eberron feats, right? Maybe item creation stuff, maybe some Magitech stuff. I don't know. 17 backgrounds. That's all Eberron, right?
Yeah.
I would assume.
Well, and
That's just gonna be. Mhm.
remember that's a lot of Dragon Mark stuff. We went over this when we were looking
Yep.
at the last UA. Like it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be a lot of dragon marks. It's gonna be a bunch of stuff that is just Eberron
Yeah.
specific, but like so that you can convert your 5e character into an Eberron campaign and still have it be new 5e rather than old 5e.
Yeah.
So
And they're all gonna have changes, and there was
yeah,
a little bit because apparently I could look at it myself. Let me do first part reporting here. So apparently one of the little images we get is of the book, and it's talking about Battlesmith. Yes, so it's Battlesmith. I'm looking at it right now. And they're talking about arcane firearms, and they're bringing a lot of this stuff that wasn't in the game into the game. Um, Whereas one of the things that the spells are way way better. You get a lot of smites now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Uh-huh.
it's gonna be good. Um,
Hmm.
I I
So
I would love to
okay.
dissect it when it comes out, when we get it
Oh
finally, the
yes.
finalized versions of those. Because
Yeah.
Artificer
Well the
is a beloved class, and
yeah.
Tiki's been playing one for years, so seeing them get it some
Well,
new feet under it would be nice.
it's a good segue into the actual Unearthed Arcana because the first one is an artificer subclass.
It is. We're looking at the Artificer Reanimator, and I could not be less interested in an Artificer class.
Sure. Yeah.
This class seems
I mean,
to. I've listened to a few things. It revolves around.
mhm.
Basically, it's the homunculus class.
Yes,
But
yeah.
rather than it being a homunculus, they're retooling it as this is like your Frankenstein's monster, but it's like a Build-A-Bear Frankenstein's monster. On the
Yeah.
one hand, I love the idea of a pet class that lets you tech things out. But
Hmm.
let's go down the list and we'll talk about it as we get there. What was your initial thoughts on reading this one, Charles? Have you looked into it much yet?
Uh, yeah, I did because I was like, well, that seems interesting. I wonder what I could do with that. But I think it's a great idea. I mean, you already have the Steel Defender Artificer, so this is just kind of another different flavor of that sort of thing.
It feels like this is the
I
magier version, the more drop a bomb
Yeah,
version.
exactly. Yeah, because of like what is it? Arcane Conduit.
Mhm.
That's one thing that I definitely wanted to call out because we don't have to go in order and read all of this, right?
Yeah.
We could just talk about what interests us about it, especially because there's 8 of them.
So
Um,
yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Well, one of the it's like a level 5 ability, so I
yeah.
don't know if we
Okay.
want to go in order or
Yeah.
not.
Well, let's hop down. Level 5. We got
Strange modifications, weird science. Wait,
oops.
no, not that one.
No, no, no.
I guess
That's
nothing. I guess nothing is stopping you from theming your reanimated companion as the woman from Weird Science.
Lisa,
But
by the
let's
way.
not get
Yeah.
into that. Yes. Anyway, Arcane Conduit. You can cast spells as though you were in the companion space, but you must use your own senses. Okay, so they're 90 feet away from you. You can do stuff from there if you can see the
Yep.
people that you want to attack.
And
Yep.
and again,
No problem.
to point out, these are all you can pick one of these, and I'm guessing you can probably
Yes.
pick more as it levels. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
So when you create the companion, you get to pick Arcane Conduit or Ferocity. And we'll talk about Ferocity because it's here. But Arcane Conduit starts with that. Then once per turn, when you cast an Artificer spell from Evocation or Necromancy schools, which, okay, cool, no problem, and deal damage while your companion's within 120 feet of you. There's a lot of ands, but that's going to be most of the time, so who cares? You can add your intelligence modifier to 1 damage roll of the spell. Wow. Please, sir, can I have some more? Like
they
that's
they got really noodly about these things, and the reason that they give it to one
yeah.
roll is back during the original set of UAs, there was a Druid UA that was like a Reaper essentially, and it lets you add to any dice roll. And what that meant was these druids would cast magic missile and do like 50 extra
Hmm.
damage.
Yeah. And I get it. You got to be noodly. It's like at least it's once per turn. It's not like once per short rest or however many per short rest. That's fine. I think it's cool. Like you said, it's the more mage version, right? It'd be very cool and thematic if you're doing chain lightning or something and you hit your companion and the other person or something like that, because that will heal your companion. That's one of the things. It absorbs lightning damage, which is cool and thematic and very Frankenstein's monster. That's cool. Um, and the other one in here, ferocity, is it gets extra attack. Basically, it can do its attack action twice, which is the melee attack roll. That takes away the opponent's opportunity attack, which is cool.
Yeah, that
You
is
can
super
move
cool.
the companion around. Yeah, and the companion can take opportunity attacks because it does have a reaction that it can use on its own.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Now, just real quick, let's go ahead and take a look at, you know what my favorite thing to
Mm-hmm.
do is. Oh, we have a companion
Sure.
class. Let's see how explodable it is. We
Yep.
have AC is 10 plus your int mod, so that's max 15.
Yeah.
Not a bad AC, honestly, for a creature. You're gonna want a 5 in your int mod anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
HP
Yeah.
is 4 plus 4 times your artificer level. So
Yeah.
that means let's start at level 3 when we get this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 16 health.
16 HP. At
Well,
level 3,
20 HP.
20 HP?
Oh no, you're right. 16. I don't know why. I read it
12,
and then I was like, no, I'm wrong.
yeah,
Anyway.
12 plus 4.
Mhm.
So that's a single weapon attack in many
Yeah.
situations, depending.
Yeah.
Um, it's immune to lightning, charmed, exhausted, poisoned. It resists necrotic
Yeah.
and poison. It has blind sight up to 60. Wait,
60 feet is really nice.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait, Watsy, you can't. Did you learn nothing from the imp as a warlock companion?
Right.
Why? Why?
Right.
Why would you do this? Okay, sure. Passive perception 10. So it's terrible at finding things anyway. Maybe that's the
Yeah.
balancer.
Yeah. It knows something is around.
Yeah. Also, though, here's the other thing, though, and for once, I'm gonna give them some roses instead of thorns on a companion
Mm-hmm.
because the trait on this companion is Death Burst, and not only is it a
Yep.
trait, but it is literally the main thing you're hoping to do with this companion, and that is
Yep.
when it dies, it explodes. It deals it has DC equal to your spell save DC, a 10-foot emanation, which is an aura, and then it deals 2d6 necrotic, which it does not have half on
Okay.
it does not have a half on fail or on success. So
Yeah. It's hit or miss.
I guess it's fine, probably.
I
Uh,
mean, yeah.
And it has lightning absorption. Whenever the companion is subjected to lightning damage, it regains a number of hit points equal to the lightning damage dealt. Now, something that was pointed out by one of the channels that I watched about this is if you notice, it's immune to lightning. So whenever it's subjected to lightning damage, it's not. It has 0
Yep.
that it would take. So verbiage there would help. Or maybe
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
could finally just put a damage absorption modifier.
That would be cool.
Because that's an old thing that existed. Absorbs X. And
Yeah.
there's plenty of creatures that do
Yeah.
it these days. They may as well just put it in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But so
Yeah.
basically we have our own little corpse exploder. That seems to be
That's cool.
kind of the mean of it. Now, they have Dreadful Swipe, and we can give it 2. What does that give us? Okay, it has a hit bonus equal to your spell attack modifier. Oh, okay, so it actually is a decent melee attack roll. That's nice. The reach is 5 feet, and it does 1d4 plus 2. Plus your int mod, necrotic damage.
Yep. So you're looking at 1d5 plus or 1d4 plus 7. Okay.
Yeah. So 1d4
Okay.
plus 7 if we're good little Arcanist boys.
Yep.
And they can't take opportunity attacks, so it's basically a shocking grasp. So that can get you through a place, I suppose, on your turn. Like being able to shocking grasp twice on a turn can be pretty helpful if you're ed up and have opponents near you. But what this thing is supposed to really do is once it explodes, you can reanimate it.
Yeah.
The companion is friendly to you, your allies obeys you. It lasts until you finish a long rest or until you take a magic action to dismiss it, at which point it harmlessly collapses. It immediately drops to 0 hit points and dies if you die. So, triggering its death
Yeah.
burst, which, by the way, does not friend or foe.
Nope.
It is dex save
Everybody.
in the emanation, each creature. So you
Everybody.
can die with your companion next to you. It explodes. You instantly fail one death save.
Yep.
So, I mean, keep your friends close, but not that one.
Yeah, and by level 15, that's a 4d6 death burst. So even if you're like barely holding on and they killed your guy because you had something, right? Well, that 4d6 is going to take you out too because you're an artificer. I think your d6, I think. Hit die, I think. Not entirely sure. I'd have to go look at that UA.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
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 Let's see. Other stuff that you get that is for the reanimated companion is once you create a companion, you can't do so again
Yeah.
until you finish a long
Until you
rest
finish a longsmith.
or
Or expend a spell slot.
Yeah. But what I want to look at is
which is
if
fine.
it dies, I guess you just expend a spell slot to create the new one.
Yep, that's
And you
it.
can't-
Any
yeah.
spell slot. So
Which is nice. I mean, so that's good. You can use your level 1s to just reanimate it. So honestly, a level 1 spell slot that does attacks and does 2d6 if it explodes.
Yeah.
That ain't bad. I'm going to be honest. That seems like a pretty good low to the ground that they've given it. It's going to be terrible as it scales, but
Yeah, and it'll get the modifications. We talked about arcane conduit and ferocity, but like just to go through it, just because we're gonna go through it anyway. All right, so at 9 you get choice, right? This is another choice when you create it. You choose one of these options, right? It is bloated.
It becomes
Which means it becomes
medium.
larger medium. Whenever it hits a larger, smaller creature with dreadful swipe, it can push them. And you add intelligence modifier to death burst because they're bloated. They pop.
We're getting an awful
Yeah.
lot of pushes. Do you think?
Yes, we are.
Do you think they saw Draw Steel and were like, "Hey, wait,
Yeah.
that's cool"?
Well, at least recently I had to look this up just for force movement, right? And opportunity attacks, and it used to be so weird. It's a little clearer now. It's they have to spend something, so this one wouldn't give you an opportunity attack because you pushed it. If it's what is it? Tasha's? No, it's not Tasha's. It's dreadful.
No, you're thinking of Dissonant Whispers.
Something whisper, dissonant whispers. Yeah, that one does because you have to use your reaction.
Yeah, and that was always the case. Actually, the thing was if the creature used an action in order to move, that would provoke. But if it didn't, if it was just force moved or anything else, that didn't cause opportunity attacks.
Yeah, they just kind of they put it more front and center in the player's handbook. Like we ran into this the last time I was running D&D, and I'm like, it's in there if you have a chance to look at it. And it was just there in plain English. That's just what I'm saying. Like it's easier to understand now. But that's the bloated one. Then there's Gaunt. So if you'd like a liquor, is what it seems like to me from Resident Evil. The speed increases to 45 feet. It gains a climb speed equal to its speed. It can climb difficult surfaces, including along ceilings, without needing to make an ability check. Yeah.
I think I was taking for advantage that this thing flies like the old homunculus did. It does not. It is a groundy boy. Okay.
Yeah, it's a groundy boy. And then whenever a creature of your choice, at least you get a choice here, starts within 10 feet emanation, the creature must succeed a wisdom saving throw or be frightened until the start of its next turn. That's cool. It's a creepy climby boy.
Oh, okay. It's like a Murloc. Or
Yeah.
Yeah, Murloc.
And then the last one is moist.
Good.
I'm just gonna say it one more time because people don't like it.
Add to a dead corpse.
A moist arcane conduit. Are we writing fan fiction here?
Oh God.
I don't know. Anyway, moist gives you a swim speed equal to its speed. In addition, whenever it's hit with an attack roll from a creature within 10 feet of it, it takes that creature, that attacker, takes acid damage equal to your intelligence modifier. Cool.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, so it's got spikes,
Oh, okay.
acid
I
spikes,
see.
basically.
Yeah, got it. Sorry, I thought it was affecting things to give acid damage to things that were hit around it,
Oh
and I was
no,
going to be like, wait the fuck up.
yeah. So
No,
if
no,
you hit
no,
it in
no.
melee,
Don't do this. This
well,
is
an
bad.
attack roll.
That's okay though, because it's all
Yeah,
acid damage, which honestly is one of the most
yeah,
resisted damage types anyway, besides poison.
exactly. It's just kind of cool. Like you could find a use for it. And then the last bit, level 15, just so that we could go through it. Whenever you cast the first one, you have all of these. This says you have mastered it, granting you the following benefits, all of these. Okay.
Yeah.
15, all three. So the first one is facilitated revival. Whenever you cast Revivify or Raise Dead, the cost of any material components is halved.
Boo, do
That's nice.
something better. I don't
I
care.
know. I know, but hey, but
Make me spend no
at least you don't
material
have to think about
components
it.
once a day. How about that?
That would be better.
Yeah.
That would be very World of Warcraft.
This is a battle res.
Uh yeah, a battle res. This is an engineer battle res. That would be
Or,
cool.
or even better,
Um
don't modify the material cost of it at all and make it an actual battle res where they don't get exhaustion, they just pop back up. That'd be
that'd be
great.
cool too. The next thing is the damage of the death burst from your companion goes up to 46, like I talked about a little bit. And then necrotic damage dealt by your companion ignores resistance. That's kind of cool.
That is cool because it
It's
only
more
deals necrotic
reliable.
damage when it swings. So
Yeah, a little bit more reliable. That's cool. And then the last one, also thematic and cool, life transfer. You can siphon the animating magic from your companion to bolster yourself. When you take damage, you can use a reaction to cause your companion to drop to 0 hit points immediately. Right? It dies, triggering the death burst, and then you regain a number of hit points equal to your artificer level. So at this point, 15.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You know what? This thing to me feels like it's a subclass that's essentially a cheeky spiritual weapon.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
But
Sure, yeah.
like Baldur's Gate spiritual weapon where it can also take damage,
Yes.
rather than being an
Yeah.
invincible, nigh invulnerable bastard on the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I get it. I like it. I like what they're going for, but it feels so goofy. Like, guys, you're
Mm-hmm.
giving me here's the thing. The Artificer more than any other class in the the set of classes is so codependent on its subclass to do good
Mm-hmm.
things. You made this person wait until level 15 for their thing to do necrotic damage without resistance. You put this, by the way, in a horror compendium. So what do you think they're fighting?
Yep.
And all of its physical attacks and its death burst are both necrotic.
Mm-hmm.
You've made this thing want to show up in a campaign where it's going to be unaffected.
Yeah.
Or ineffective. It's
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, as far as I do want to mention because it is a caster. Spell lists are a thing.
Yep.
False Life, Spare the Dying, Witch
That's
Bolt.
true.
Cool. There is the little jank where you could put a Witch Bolt and aim it at your familiar so that your familiar is healing every turn. That's fun. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Blind,
Mm-hmm.
Deaf, Enhance Ability. Sure, those are good to have prepped all the time. Animate Dead, Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt on an Artificer, not bad.
Yeah, pretty good.
Blight, Death Ward. Blight is strong. Death Ward, also strong.
Mm-hmm.
Anti-Life Shell, great. Raise Dead, fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get it. This is their
You
shtick.
had to give it to them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
you
their
had to give
shtick.
it to them.
They bring things back to life, but all of this is so reactive, and all of this is so
Mm-hmm.
dependent on. It depends on Trinket. That I'm gonna make the Trinket statement again. Trinket is not a battle strategy.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just have your fun little bear be your buddy and go swipe people to death unless it's the only thing your class does and it's strong and it's
Super strong.
modifiable. Like,
Hmm.
I
And
agree,
they tried to give you a little bit, yeah,
but
but I don't think it's enough.
it's not only is it really, I don't think, enough, but it's one of those things where you're going to feel yourself. I mean, it's the main thing that makes it strong is any level spell slot that you cast instantly brings this thing back up.
Hmm.
So it basically is free
Yeah,
battle efficiency, kind of, but at the same time, it's doing cantrip damage and it doesn't scale like a cantrip does. I could just cast Toll
yeah.
the Dead
Hmm.
at level 11. That would be what, 3d12? And
I think you're
usually
right.
in any other artificer, I would get a plus modifier on that.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I haven't really dug as deep as I usually do for these things, but looking at this right now, what I'm seeing is that the saves are strong, the attack rolls are strong, the damage is still crap, and I'm
Hmm.
spending a spell slot to do this. So what you're telling me is essentially
Hmm.
I could have just cast Melf's Acid Arrow.
It's true. Yeah, I can't disagree with any of that. Like, you could say that it's a bonus action to make it do stuff, yes, but every other artificer has better bonus actions. So like,
Yeah, that it's a bonus action to have my Bastion. What's the name of the dog? My doggo go
oh,
go do
Steel
cooler stuff.
Defender.
And by the way, the Steel Defender is a fucking monster tank that actually has
Yes.
reactions where it defends people. This
Hmm.
has opportunity attacks.
And will hurt your friends when it blows up.
Yeah, or you.
Yeah.
And if you fall to 0 and it happens to be next to you, it instantly makes you fail a death save. Like,
Yeah. Mm.
I don't know. It's got a lot of flavor to it, but if there's
Yes.
this thing that I'm gonna bring up multiple times because I the few people that I've been watching have been talking about this. It's like you're really riding all ride or die on one thing for this subclass, and that doesn't
Hmm.
feel good.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
flavorful. It's not strong. An artificer on its own.
Hmm.
I mean, the newer one is stronger. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but it's still like the flair that Artificer gets from all of its subclasses is truly what defines it. We have in an Artificer subclass, you have 3 level 3s, a level 5, a level 9, and a level
Hmm.
15. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Yeah.
subclass features that go up to level 15.
Hmm.
That's powerful, or it can be. And what you're telling me is
Hmm.
that one of my subclass features is I can pick that my companion can push people 10 feet and add my int mod to the damage dealt by it exploding, which is the
Yeah.
use of my spell slot.
Hmm.
I don't see it yet. I might be missing something. Maybe there's some jank you can do with this, enchanting its damage
Yeah.
with like holy weapon or something, like obviously,
Sure. Yeah.
but it's yeah, like you're saying, Nevik. It's like having a boomer as Left for Dead as your buddy. If the boomer was not at all that scary and was basically a dragon's breath weapon when it explodes, and then you spend another spell slot to bring
Yeah.
it back up.
I mean, I could see you saying that. What if I blew it up on purpose, like not with, like in a fireball, to get it for free, right? Because I'm using a magic action for a fireball. It hits it for enough damage that it dies. It blows up. I hit the fireball and the necrotic damage. Okay, sure, that's some setup. That could be fun,
That was 2 spell slots.
but that was two spell slots. Yeah.
You could have
So
just cast another fireball.
exactly,
That
right.
the
And
the
it's only 10 feet.
the problem is with any caster, anytime you give them
Yeah.
another mini game for them to play. I see what you're saying, Nevik. Yeah, it's like having a boomer as a Left for Dead as your buddy because it'll explode
Yeah.
on you regardless. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's gonna blow up.
Exactly.
And in 10 foot
Yeah.
radius, are you outside of your friends? And if you are, it's you're gonna send it over there. It's gonna immediately explode because someone's gonna hit it once and deal it 15 damage. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's it's so fun and flavorful, and the problem
Yeah.
is that you have to parse this against every other thing that an artificer could be doing on their turn. First off, artificers get
Yeah.
automatically enhanced magic weapons by design.
Mm-hmm.
with repeating shot and other things that make it so that they can use it as they get wands that they can just make. And then
Yep.
you're telling me that what you want to do is this? I don't know. I don't see it yet.
I don't know. Yeah.
But,
Just I don't know. I don't know if it needs more power because it's like you said, it's very thematic.
yeah.
Is it just power? You think?
I don't see, that's the thing is I don't know. Like in these sorts of
Yeah.
balance equations, you never see what the devs see behind the scenes because when I
Mm-hmm.
played Guild Wars a million billion years ago, the first controversy for that game, they changed the Ranger class right before the first $1 million tournament for the game.
Mm.
ArenaNet did that. Their balance team went and fixed a build. The top Korean team, KOR, literally their guild name.
Yeah.
This was early. This was early aughts, folks.
Yeah.
Quit the game forever because their entire
Mm.
build was nerfed the week of the competition.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
the reason that they explained it was the way that it was being used in that build was suboptimal to begin with, and with a few other things, it would be unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
All of that to say,
Yeah.
like, I might not see something that the devs who made this see as they're going through. Like, one of them went,
Mm-hmm.
holy crap, we can't do that because this and this and this. And so they're like, all right, scale it back.
Right.
And then the people can add in the bonuses if they want. Like, on hit triggers and other things probably proc pretty well with this. There is the ability to take things reactions away. So you smack a wizard, suddenly they can't counterspell you anymore.
Sure.
There's a lot of different things that this could do utilitarianly. It's just the question is it better than what you get out of casting a spell? Because you have to think that because this thing costs a spell.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
What do we want to
I
move
mean,
on to
like,
next? We don't have to go in order. Let's see. We got.
College of Spirits.
You want to do College of Spirits?
I mean, okay. So it existed before, right?
It did. I forgot it existed before, but let's go with that.
I know. Same, right? Because I think the biggest difference that I have seen is its level 3 ability, right? Okay, so I'll just get to level 3 and we'll talk about it because that's the whole engine of this thing. And it's one of those not wild magic, but wild magic types. Anyway, level 3, you learn. Yeah. You know how I feel about wild magic. You learn how to contact spirits before beyond the grave, right? Letting their power and knowledge flow through you. One, you know the guidance cantrip has a range of 60 feet when you cast it. That's cool.
That's
Free
sick.
cantrip. All right. Yep. Guidance is nice. It's cool. And range of 60 feet, actually pretty all right. That's
it's
pretty
touch
good.
Otherwise, so yeah.
Yeah. You can do it from far away, being the bard that you should be, helping your friends do dumb shit.
Not to mention,
right?
for once, you would have a potential argument with this one to be like, well, they can't see me casting the spell. I'm all the way over there. It's like,
yep.
all right, I guess, because otherwise you're like, let me tell you of our story, King. The bard's like, hold up, buddy. Bop, 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 bop. All right, you're good. Yeah. Walks away. It's like, what the hell was that?
It's Ash Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's just what I was doing. Okay. But the next thing, spiritual focus. Okay, so this is just cool and thematic. You employ tools that aid you in channeling spirits. You gain a gaming set, playing cards. You have proficiency with it, and you can use the cards or arcane crystal, candle, or ink pen as your spellcasting
must
focus.
Never know. Lily
very cool.
Plays a swords bard with a tarot deck that is a main theme of their character.
Yes, and you know, I would never move from swords bard to this. No. I could anyway. I couldn't.
So good.
I couldn't. Yeah. So, okay. So the main feature, showstopper here, level 3, Spirits from Beyond, changes your bardic inspiration. Cause say it with me, you only have one feature that matters.
Oh,
like the rest of these subclasses,
hinge
right?
Everything on it.
Yes. So bardic inspiration, instead of bardic inspiration, what you will do, you will use a bonus action to expend one use. Roll the bardic inspiration die and refer to the Spirits from Beyond table that I'm gesturing towards. It's not there.
There's 12
we don't have an editor.
No. There's 12. Hold on.
Oh.
All right. I got a 8.
You got an 8. Shade. Okay, so first and foremost, let's go through. I'm not going to read what it does yet.
Okay.
Were you targeting a friend or a foe?
Oh, that's a good question. So let's see. Choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. Wait.
Yeah, you don't know,
All right,
right?
let's.
So you roll and then you choose someone you want to use. So you don't know what's going to happen, but now you get to choose, right?
Uh-huh.
So you roll first and then apply it, which is nice. It's kind of like a Final Fantasy 14 astrologian card when they used to be random or more random.
Boy, I
I'm
hated
sorry,
that.
buddy. Yeah.
No, I did.
So,
Everybody who's
okay.
like, it used to be a challenge. It used to be. Fuck off. I didn't. The last thing I needed
I
to
don't want the
do
random.
was be looking at the card that I was trying to cast while also trying to run behind Pallas Athena as we're doing the reopener mechanic that we had to run from one side to the other side and then back for.
And this is purely hypothetical.
Fuck that.
Never happened. So
Thank you.
rolled an 8 and you got shade.
Okay, cool. So I targeted an enemy. No, I targeted an ally. Let's be honest. I'm using my Bardic Inspiration. I targeted an ally.
Well, here's the thing. Like, the cool thing is you roll and then you apply. So you figure out what you're going to do, and then you can say friend or foe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, okay.
Yeah, so target gains the invisible condition until the end of its next turn or until the target makes an attack roll. So not greater invisibility.
As invisibility,
just invisibility.
Yeah.
Yep. When the invisibility ends, each creature in the 5-foot emanation originating from the target must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take necrotic damage equals to 2 rolls of your Bardic Inspiration die.
This is already better than the homunculus.
Already better, right?
No, I didn't even have to spend the spell slot, and I did invisibility.
Nope. And
this comes back. Wait, this comes back on a short rest.
Yes, it does, because it's Bardic Inspiration.
Damn it.
And the spell save is your Bard spell save DC, which is going to be high because you are the save or suck class. Like, you have so many of those spells, usually. Yeah. Usually you do. Like, you're going to be the one who's banishes, probably. Unless you have like an abjuration wizard, because I think that's abjuration, you get a shield from it. Right? Like, I can't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember the sick, nasty things that I want to do with abjuration. Anyway. But so the cool thing, and the only reason that I'm not actually mad at this, is that you roll and then you figure out who you're going to put it on. Now, before you could do this before the battle, and you would just have it ready and go, now I'm putting it on this person. Now it's in the moment, but at the very least you roll and then you apply.
Yeah.
Very much appreciate that. It's thematic. Like, you could really RP this up. Like, okay, well, I channel something from your history, and it's a shade of someone, or there's other ones. Roll me another d12.
Sure. Let's this one for this one.
Sure.
I'm rolling 2d6, so variance.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll take a 2. Sharpshooter. The target takes force damage equal to 1 roll of your Bardic Inspo die plus Charisma modifier. Hey, that's not bad for free.
No. The only thing it costs is not giving Bardic Inspiration and using the Bardic Inspiration, right? But there's a lot of times where it's like, well, I've given it to 2 people and it's not gone off, so.
But I just bonus action magic missiled someone.
Yeah, exactly, right? So that's cool. There's some cool ones. Like, if you roll a 12, you choose, right? Of course that makes sense, right?
Well, yeah,
you choose.
That's the guy.
Right, and then
God, that's such a pain for a newer player, though. Yeah. Holy fuck!
Yes.
Way to make them have to. Okay, choose between 11 things. Do you know what your class does?
Yeah.
Man. I mean, on the one hand, yay, you just get to spend a Bardic Inspiration die and do random lulls. On the other hand, damn, if you actually want to use your bonus action for a specific thing on the turn, like, you know, I'm not going to name names or say any specific thing, but let's say as a bard, you want to healing word somebody so that they come back to life in the middle of a fight. Charles, you've never had to do that, have you?
No, not at all. No, not once.
Okay, yeah, that's probably fine. Let's see. Is there a healing one? Target gains temporary hit points equal to a roll of your Bardic Inspiration die plus your bard level. Ooh.
That's pretty nice, yeah.
And while these 10 hit points
that scales well.
Speed increases by 10 feet. That's not bad.
Yes.
You'd
Yes.
have to roll a
Like,
specific number to get that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or, roll a 12 or be high enough level because, of course, at level, what is it, 14,
You
you
get
can
two
roll twice
rolls.
and choose which of the two.
Oh, we
Yeah,
got
exactly.
some wild magic choices.
Oh, yeah.
God
Oh, yeah.
biggity bless.
I, there's some other cool stuff in here, like Power from Beyond. This is at level 6. You get both of these things. Power from Beyond once a turn when you cast a bard spell that deals damage or restores hit points. Roll a d6. You gain a bonus to one of the spell's damage rolls, or the total hit points the spell restores equal to that. You get to add a d6 to stuff. Yeah, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, here's the one that's just funny to me. Spiritual Manifestation. You always have Spirit Guardian's spell prepared. You can cast it once without a spell slot, and you regain it when you finish the long rest. Free Spirit Guardians. But wait, it's better. Because whenever you start casting the spell, you can modify it so the spirits also guard against worldly threats when cast in this way. You and your allies within the spell's emanation have half cover.
Uh-huh. Which is plus
You
2
can only
AC.
do that once per short rest. Yep. Are you okay? Spirit Guardians that actually guard and still do that damage to the people that you don't want or that you do want to damage because your friends are safe from Spirit Guardians.
Reminder,
that's not bad.
That's a 10-foot emanation, so you're going to have like, buddy. But
yeah, you'll have a buddy. That's right.
It's definitely,
and you.
Yeah. One of the things that I think Kobold was saying about this is he was like, this is fun. You're going to want to have an armor upgrade and shield allowance, which this class does not give you. So.
Nope.
Be sure to.
And that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so thematic and cool, and I would have given it any other bonus than half cover.
I mean, so here's the thing. They did that already. It was called the Stars Cleric, and it was, or the Twilight Cleric, and it was the most OP cleric to date that has ever existed. So
it's true.
Let's not do that.
It's true, but like, yeah, it's true. But I could like half cover. That's fine. But like, can we just get like spell saves? Maybe like your spirit. I feel like Bard is kind of that magical helper. I don't think the 2 AC is just useful to anybody almost at any time, especially by level 6.
Oh, right? Also remember, half cover only works on range.
Yes, exactly.
Cover does not apply to melee attacks.
So it's like I went close to you to give you cover from the one ranged attack that's coming, and my Spirit Guardians is not useful because I didn't move over the person. I moved over you.
Yeah.
Nah.
Better to just get into melee with an opponent with Spirit Guardians active and then dare them to try to run away.
Yeah, it could have given a debuff to the enemy. Like if it was half cover or some like slowing them down or who knows, getting rid of their opportunity attack or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That would be cool. But no. So I mean,
also
the randomized spirits are not the worst. Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to say real quick, as we're on the subject, Ranger, Monk, Psy Warrior.
Yeah.
Where's Bard? God, cleric subclasses, please. There we go. Let's just go to College of Lore real quick. Peerless skill. When you make an ability check or an attack roll and fail, you can spend one use of Bardic Inspiration, roll the die, add the number rolled to the d20, potentially turning the failure into a success. On a failure, Bardic Inspiration isn't spent. So, College of Lore lets you use your Bardic, basically what, as a reaction?
Yes.
No.
I think.
No. It's not even anything. It's just you can give yourself Bardic Inspiration ad hoc. College of Valor is after you cast a spell that has a casting time of an action, you make a melee weapon with a bonus action. Standard battle magic ability. College of Dance is leading evasion, where you pull someone else out of the AoE with you. I believe, if I remember that one right.
I think so. Yeah.
It gives you evasion, and then it also says. If any creatures within 5 feet of you are making the same dex save, you can share this benefit with them.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't move you anymore. Thank God. But so those are some of the baller ass things that you can do
Yeah.
With your level 14 subclass capstone on any other bard, this one says roll
Yeah.
twice pick.
Yeah.
And
And
suddenly
you
I'm
know, you
bored.
want to, yeah. You know, the bard is the one that's supposed to be the utility immutable type class. And so you think that, well, if I roll whatever I have, it'd be fun to figure out how to use. And that could be true for you.
Yeah.
Just
It's
know
great.
it's just a little bit less powerful.
Yeah, it's great flavor, but the level 14 is kind of meh.
Yeah.
It's not kind of meh. It's extremely
Yep.
meh.
Very much so. Yeah.
God forbid you roll the same number twice, which happens all the time on D12s.
If it was roll twice and then something happens, right? Like roll twice, pick what you want, and then some little tiny rider. Like, and also you heal or harm extra. I don't know, right?
Expend
It's
2
something.
uses of Bardic Inspiration to choose on the table.
Yeah. And that'd be fine. Something like that.
I mean, obviously that would be horrible for your action, or not your
Yeah.
action economy, but it'd be horrifying
Yeah.
to your
Your
short
resources.
rest economy resources, because you're
Mhm.
usually going to have 5 Bardic Inspirations. But still, it's like, what if you need something in the moment? Rolling twice
Yeah.
is like more choices, but not, I don't know, not necessarily in a positive way for me.
Mhm.
Being really negative on this right now. I don't like that I am.
Well,
But
yeah, I just this one, you know, it's okay. It's all right. It just needs some stuff. Like it's great, very thematic. Both of what we've talked about so far is great theme wise. I think it just needs a little bit more juice.
yeah,
Um, and then there's what if we were going in order, it'd be Grave Domain.
Grave Domain. Let's see. Let's just read the design notes for the updates. Circle of
Yeah,
Mortality
it's fine.
now also grants you small damage boost against bloodied creatures. Okay.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah. Which is fine because they already give you Toll of the Dead with that subclass, which is essentially just yeah, once per turn
Yeah,
when you cast or hit with an attack roll, you get an extra D4 against bloodied. Cool.
yeah, it's
Grave
not
Domain
very
spells
much.
updated for more versatility and combat oriented, because I think most of them were just very, very utility. You get Bane for free.
Yeah,
That's great. You get Rave Enfeeblement, which
Bane
is
is nice.
slept on.
Yep.
Guys, you half all
Vampiric
strength-based
Touch.
damage. That makes you the dragon go
Yes.
when it hits somebody. It's real funny.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Squeaky Hammer.
Yeah. Bot
Blight,
Mallet.
right? You get Blight.
Everybody loves Blight, man. Like it's good stuff. Boy howdy, I wish there were a cooler level 3 spell to be, or level 5 spell to be thrown around, but we are where we are.
Yes,
Oh, and you get,
exactly.
you're not gonna believe this, you get Raised Dead.
Oh my goodness.
Do you get Revivify at 5?
I
You
believe it.
do, and Vampiric Touch, which
Yeah.
as far as I've ever seen is kind of a useless spell.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna hit you for 3d8 and suck up half of that. I want to say it's not even 1 for 1.
Hey, but Freehold Monster is cool.
Freehold Monster
free.
is kind of cool, actually.
You know, right? Like that is a great one for your concentration if you have melee to persona curb stomp them, right? I'm
Wait,
sorry,
what the
all out
honky
attack.
honk? Isn't Chill Touch a danged
A ding dang cantrip?
Cantrip?
I thought it was, yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, I thought so. I'll check.
It says you get that at level 3. I guess they're just giving you cantrips
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, they must be. Let's see. Did that change? I didn't even notice. Is this a level 1? No, it's still a cantrip. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
It
so
didn't
you
even
get a
change.
cantrip at level 3. I mean, that's fine. What was it? You used to get
Yeah.
what's the one that makes it so that you can't die, or that you don't die? Is it Gentle Repose?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
And
so
you still get it.
they do still get Gentle Repose, so there is that.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing. They used to get it at range, though, was one of the things they got, right?
Yes, yes. And I think they might still have something like that.
And they
somewhere
still get
later
max
on.
res, which is just
Yes, they
good
do.
stuff. Especially good to remember that healing spells are doubled now.
Yes.
So
yeah.
even more than it used to be, max res on cure wounds is going to be bonkers. You're going to be looking at, let's assume a +4 bonus. you're going to be looking at 36 health popping up from a level 2 cure wounds.
Yes. Yeah.
That's dang. That's really, really good.
Yeah. Who cares if we go down? Right? Like, and that's great because that's the way a lot of people just do D&D anyway. Like, you don't heal anyone until they're at 0. And having someone who specializes in that's nice.
Yeah, I suppose. It does bug me a little. But
it sucks, yes. It sucks. I wish it wasn't that way.
Yeah. Sentinel at Death's Door, now the trigger for it is, I believe, that it halves damage rather than negating criticals, which honestly good, because negating the critical that a DM casts or gets on a player is such a weird feel bad for the DM and such a sucking the wind out of the tension in a fight. It's like, oh, the dragon crit you, or oh, the big angry bone claw crit you. And you're like, oh no, that's gonna be so much damage. And the grave cleric's like, crits don't exist. I don't care.
Yeah.
This time it's
this is
not only is it good, it's better because
yeah. It'll always be useful. Always. You know, you don't have to wait on a crit. You don't have to, right?
Yeah.
This is what I would, and maybe it's radical, but this is what I would hope that healing would be in D&D anyway.
Yeah.
Right. I would love for more healing to be reactions, like just like when Bardic Inspiration was reaction for those UAs before 2024. I was like, finally,
Charles,
thank you.
You have
That'd
to
be
hold
amazing.
Up counterspell.
I know. Right? Like, I don't want to have to counterspell. I love this reaction to heal, reaction to shield stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it costs a resource that doesn't drain the fun of being in the fight. Yeah, okay, so you can't do an opportunity attack or a counterspell. You're a cleric, you aren't going to do a counterspell anyway. Right? And yeah, so your piddly mace, which you may have buffed, don't get me wrong, you could buff it. Or your chill touch, because maybe, I don't know that you can use a cantrip. I think you'd have to get war caster, even if it even exists anymore.
It does.
So it's like, yeah, so it's like I would rather use that reaction to do the thing that I may be saddled into doing, which is healing.
Yeah.
Because that's what it feels like for every fucking cleric I've ever played with.
Oh, also worth noting that I'm pretty sure that this this Sentinel at Death's Door used to be a usage of your
your cleric juice.
No. We can't just call everything juice, Charles. We're so bad. What the heck is it called? Channel Divinity.
Channel Divinity.
I believe it used to be use your channel Divinity. Now you just get your wisdom modifier per long rest. So it's its own separate little guy that you get a bunch of numbies for. You can put a little die and you can decrement it when you've been using it. Love seeing more different parts on the sheet. Is there any specific to Grave Domain Channel Divinity? Is that not a thing anymore?
Yeah, so it's the Path to the Grave thing at level 3. So it was the curse, and then the creature has an attack or disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws. So that's cool, and it's until the start of your next turn. So you basically curse them until the start of your next turn. Yeah, so that's what it had. Yeah.
No, it didn't have it. No, it never gave disadvantage on save. It used to.
I thought it always did.
No, this used to be a vuln. Remember?
Was it? I thought it was. Well, maybe it was.
No, Path to the Grave was you're vulnerable to the next damage you take.
Yeah, was it? I guess so. I don't even remember because I haven't had a Grave Cleric in a long time, which is weird because usually people see Grave Cleric and they go, "That's what I want to do."
Yeah, it's the most
Path
efficient.
to the Grave. Yeah, it was vulnerability to all of that attack's damage and the curse ends. So now it has changed.
So now it's while cursed, the creature has disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws for a turn.
So yeah, you bonus action that and then use your Saber Suck.
That's a bonus action?
It's a bonus action.
Ooh,
and then on top of that,
okay,
you can end the curse early to do a little bit extra damage, right?
No one
A
will
D8
ever
plus
do
your
that
character
unless
level.
it's like right
No.
before their turn. And it's
Yeah,
going to
right.
end
You
anyway.
know,
You just
like,
say, hey, hit it real quick. Plus 1d8.
mm-hmm.
It's already hold
Yeah.
person at a
So
disadvantage save, and it's being crit every single hit anyway. So, but
yeah,
why not just, pile on because it's funny? God
like imagine
damn.
you've got Bane and this at level 3.
Bane, nothing. Let's remember Silvery Barb still exists.
Sure, yes, but I'm just saying, like, this is a bonus action that doesn't break your concentration. You know
Actually,
what I mean?
let me be more generous to the nice people at Dungeons and Dragons. Did they make it so that
Mm.
Silvery Barbs did not make it into 2024?
No, I don't think so.
No, please tell me you didn't put it in here and people are just doing the. I will say, one thing that I'm going to be an old man for a second. Something that pisses
That's
me
fine.
off to no end. I wish these ding dang kids wouldn't just merge all the 2024 and 2014 things together to make them the most optimal possible. That's not what it was supposed to be.
Yep.
I don't
Yeah.
like it. It's not.
Yeah.
I guess if you want to do it that way, that is given to you as an option. Have fun, make the game even more turbo. But I like the power level they put all this at, and I feel like it was a good step down from the craziness that
Yeah.
made it impossible to run games.
Yeah. I mean, so your DM could say no to Silvery Barbs because it is still Strixhaven, right? So you could say no, we're doing 2024, and if it appears in a 2024 one, then
It's not in
maybe.
the handbook, so
But
until they put it back
yeah,
in,
no,
that is
it's
not
not.
a spell that still exists now. Thank
Okay.
crap. That it's a level 1
Yeah.
spell, Charles. There's no reason on God's green earth that should have happened. It was supposed to be just for bards, and then everybody else was like, I want it too. All right.
Yeah, it's true.
It's
very true.
It's a fun, fair, and amazing spell for bards. Everybody else
Yes.
getting it is weird as hell to me, and I don't like it.
Well, okay. So Grave Cleric is
Juiced.
probably better than it was just by those two, right? The better spell list and these two. And that's at level 3 and then 6, right? 6 is the having the attack damage, right? From when there's a bloodied creature.
Now, to be fair, it is a bloodied creature. You or a bloodied creature you can see. So you can either have damage on you or you can have damage on a bloodied friend. Not necessarily a friend. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Divine Reaper is when you cast a spell level 5 or lower from the Necromancy School that targets one creature, or a spell from the Grave Domain spells table, you can expend use of Channel Divinity. Target a second creature within that spell's range.
Yep.
Okay, this is level 17, so it's fine for it to be a little turbo.
And it might be turbo. Like I'm trying to find 5th level necromancy spell. It'll just take me a sec. So what could you even call with that? Like 5th level, we're talking contagion. We're talking contagion. No, it's a range of touch. There's no way you can't do that.
Yeah, I can touch 2 guys.
Oh, like the 11d8. Well, yeah, I mean you could, right?
I mean, Blight's necromancy, right?
Blight is raised dead is why they said level 5. Let's be honest, right?
That's stupid. Why?
I know. I don't know. That would be really dumb. Don't use it on raised dead. Like you'll never get the chance to use it on raised dead anyway. Like that is so niche.
Honestly, I think what's funny is didn't healing used to be necromancy? They changed it. Thank God it's evocation now, but
yeah,
it would have been really funny
right
for that to still be necromancy. So you could just go cure or heal on 2 targets. Or, I don't know.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot. One of the really interesting uses that you could do with it is animate dead, right? Because you can animate dead 2 things in one cast.
Wait.
No? It's a level 3.
No. So hear me out.
No.
Necromancer or Raise Dead is not one of your Grave Domain spells. The rider is 5th level or lower, Necromancy School, targets one creature, or is a spell from the Grave Domain spell table. The Grave
So yeah, I
Domain
mean animate.
spells does not have animate dead. It's raised dead.
Yeah, but it says yes, but it says lower from the necromancy school that targets one creature or a spell, right? So if
Sure.
it's this or that, right? So if it is animate dead, which targets one, well, it doesn't target one creature. I guess you could say that.
That's the caveat that I'm throwing in. I'm checking it now
Sure.
because I do not
Yeah.
believe that animate dead targets a creature. Choose a pile of bones or a corpse
Old
of a
bones or a
medium or
corpse.
small humanoid.
Yeah. So then, yeah, I guess you wouldn't be able to do that one.
That said, you can always just upcast it. Get 2 undead.
It's true.
For each spell
It's
slot
true.
above level 3.
Yeah, you can do a hold monster on 2 things because it's on your list.
Oh,
which is
dang,
kind
you
of cool.
get +2 for each. Right, that's right. God, no wonder Grave Cleric is so stupid. And
yeah, there's a you want to double your ray of enfeeblement? You can. That's kind of cool.
Juice. It's, I mean,
we need the juice.
Honestly, Grave Cleric, no
juice
notes.
must flow. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's pretty great.
This is, I mean, I would almost be sad that I can't use a damn channel divinity to raise 2 Skelemen, but also I'm pretty sure if you cast a second raise dead or animate dead, it overrides the first anyway.
The first one, yeah. Anyway.
So
yeah. It's not really super useful, which is the only thing that I don't like about level 17. You got some things you could do. Like I said, hold monster is probably the most ridiculous thing you could do with that.
Oh god, that's on your spell list. You could hold 2 monsters. Wait.
Yep.
And you could make one of them with a bonus action have disadvantage.
Yes.
No. This is so dumb.
Yeah. Like, just imagine. And I mean, what's that? Blight. Is Blight?
Yeah,
Blight is one creature,
list.
right?
Well,
so
it
Blight
doesn't
is now
matter.
2 creatures.
So again, remember, if it's on the list, it doesn't have to target a creature.
Oh, that's right. That's right. But I mean, Blight on 2 things is kind of cool.
Yeah. Or you just flex and cast 2 chill touches.
Just cause I didn't need that channel divinity anyway.
Nah, screw it, right?
Yeah. And then the last thing is just healing, right? When an enemy dies within 60 feet of you, you or one creature you can see within 60 feet of yourself regains hit points equal to 3 times your cleric level at level 17 already. So what are you, 6 off of 60? So you're 54?
51 plus something.
Yeah, I think it's a total of 54, right?
Well,
20 times 3 would be 60. We're taking 3.
It's
3
17 times
51.
3.
Yeah.
So you're looking at 17, 34, 51.
Yeah. I just see, James, the way that I do this math is go 20 times and then remove 9.
Oh. Yeah, so 60
right?
minus 9.
Because,
51.
Yep. Yeah, so it's just a stupid thing that I don't know why I do.
That's a fine short change, and that makes sense. I just always do the little ladder in my dumb brain. But yeah, so
that's fucking cool.
That's really, honestly, even at that level, that's great healing scaling for how we see it now. I wonder how good it is with the idea that healing spells are doubled now.
Right? Yes, I don't know. That is a good question. Yeah. I mean, 51 at 17, you're talking probably like a third of a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Would be like at 150, something like that by that point.
Yeah,
they're approaching 200, I would guess.
I know that the level 15 fighter Gino's playing in our campaign is already above 200.
Okay, so then it depends on Constitution too, right? That's probably the low. Yeah, that's probably low balling than what I said. So maybe 175, something or maybe even over 200 if you're really, really focused on it.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's a big chunk for a spellcaster who you're probably going to be using this on, or yourself.
Yeah, and it's just within range. You just reorg that.
Yep,
it's
just
really
happened.
good.
Yeah, it just happens. You can't be incapacitated, so you can't do it while you're, dying. But that's fine. And it's a short rest recharge.
Right, because
Like that's
channel
awesome.
divinity for clerics is on short rest now.
Oh, this isn't even channel divinity.
I think it is. No? Wait.
It's not, yeah. When an enemy dies, you're one creature. That's it. You can't use this feature
Surely
if
you
you're
have to expend
incapacitated.
the use of your channel divinity for this.
You do for the second target. It says it in enhanced necromancy, but it doesn't say it in Keeper
You're
of Souls. Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. Like just every battle, well, not every battle, but every battle after a short rest, you just have it,
That's
right?
that's bonkers.
It's pretty great, especially
Hey,
when you're like,
guys, turns out Grave
"Mhm,
Cleric good. We solved it.
yeah, absolutely,
Who
absolutely.
who fucking knew? Um
And
L.
you can't maximize it, so you can't max heal. That, yeah,
All right.
that kind of sucks.
Yeah. We've gilded
Yeah,
the
Grave Cleric
Grave
is fine.
Cleric Lily enough. Let's move to something that is well, let's move to something a little more simple first, and then we'll move to something
Yeah,
that we'll do the double feature.
sure.
Let's go to Shadow Sorcerer.
Okay.
Also got what I would say is a pretty dang good update.
Yep,
Um,
for sure.
well, let's just read the update notes real quick. Eyes of the
Hmm.
Dark now also grants you blind sight, 10 feet. Sure, why not?
Makes sense to
That's a
me.
passive feature
Sure.
too, right? It's not like you're just seeing through your own
Yeah,
darkness. You have blind sight now.
just straight up.
Yeah. Shadow spells, new feature provides a list of shadow sorcery. I thought that shadow sorcerers already had this, but people were hooting and hollering, so I guess they didn't. It's hard for me to remember which sorcerer
Yeah,
classes had and didn't have their own
sure.
spell list. I don't know.
I don't know.
Or maybe it was that
It
they
it
had
looks
them
good.
available.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah.
You got some cool stuff in there. We'll talk about it.
Spirits of Ill Omen now uses the Summon Undead spell, allowing for more versatility and scaling. You don't have a weird dog
It's
anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now it could be anything you feel like, kind of
Yeah, just
any kind of shape you want.
use your imagination. And then Umbral Form
Yeah.
now gives you one free use of the form per long rest. Good. And Strength of the Grave has been improved and moved to the benefits of this form. Okay, sure.
Yes.
Which, I mean, sure, you have your Saiyan transformation or whatever you want to call the level 18 to
Hmm.
20s that are like, you do this for a minute. Yep, a minute.
Yeah.
Sounds fine.
Yeah.
Eyes of the Dark is 120 feet dark vision and blind sight 10 feet. If you cast,
Yeah.
if a spell you cast creates an area of darkness, you can see normally through the spell's darkness. It is no,
Sick.
it is no longer just the darkness spell.
It's sick.
I
It's great.
I wonder what the verbiage on Hunger of Hadar is now, though, since I do believe it was just
Yes.
opacity and not a darkness.
Yeah, I don't let me see. Hunger of Hadar. 2024. Yes, thank you, D&D Beyond. Yeah, a 20-foot radius sphere of darkness appears. Sphere is difficult terrain. And creatures fully in it would have the blinded condition.
Got it. Yeah, because that's what I think it
Yeah.
used to. I don't think it was uppercase darkness back in the day. I think it
Yes.
was just it said
Yeah.
a sphere of darkness, whatever appeared, but it just said things in there. I don't remember if it just said things in there are blind or that it was obscured vision in the thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. But
Because it's one
now it
it's
says blinded.
yeah, because it's one of those interesting things where there was an interaction between darkness spells and light spells that, depending on how high the level of the one you cast was, it would negate the other one or it
Yeah.
wouldn't, or vice versa. It,
Hmm.
God damn it, it's not a juice shadow. Stop.
Yeah.
Shadow spells. Let's
I'm
just
glad.
roll down this all hits list.
Yeah.
Bane, darkness, inflict wounds, pass without a trace. Hunger of Hadar, summon
Banger.
undead. Greater
Banger.
invisibility, phantasmal killer, and contagion
Fucking
creation. You get creation.
Yes.
The cleric spell, if I'm not mistaken.
It's the illusion you pull wisp of shadow material one.
Oh,
It's so it only lasts for an amount of time. Like if it's adamantine, it's like a minute. If it's vegetable matter, it's like 24 hours or something. But it's a
okay.
cube. It's a 5-foot cube of stuff you make.
Cool. Hey,
It's you know
that was a wizard spell then, wasn't it? Nobody ever used it.
yeah, it was wizard forge cleric. I think I don't know who else got to do it.
Yeah. So spirit
Artificer, maybe, probably.
probably. Although that's a pretty high level for them because of their third
Yeah.
slash half caster nature. Whenever you start
Mhm.
casting, spirits of ill omen is when you cast summon undead without a material component. You can also cast it once without a spell slot. You regain the ability to cast it in this way whenever you finish a long rest. So it wasn't some weird thing you have to summon anymore. It's just you
Yeah.
get the spell. You don't have to spend material components. You can cast it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's not your your hound of ill omen anymore. It's got the undead spirit stat block, which is not listed here, but since I know you want to go through it, I have it up here,
Yes, please. Let's
right?
see if
Just
it
real quick.
explodes.
All right. So first off, AC is 11 plus the spells level. Spells level normally is level 3. I don't. You could cast it higher level. You could. It's not going to be free,
No.
right? I think you only cast the 3. So you're talking about 14.
Yeah.
14 AC.
14 AC.
Eh.
Same old, same old.
Eh.
That's a
Eh.
Gerblin. Why
Uh,
not? That's a Gerblin with a shield.
yeah, it starts with 30 HP or
Uh,
20, depending on which one you do, right? Because there's 2 different ones you could
you
do, and
got
we'll
your
talk
ranged
about that.
boy and your melee boy.
Yep. Plus 10 for each spell level above 3rd. So normally
Ooh,
nothing.
that growth is kind of ass, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. It could run 30 feet or fly 40 if you pick the ghostly one, right?
Oh.
So yeah, it
Ghostly,
can
I
fly.
assume, is
I
30.
fly now. The ghostly is 40 flying, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, 40 flying. No, no, no.
Living
I was
very well.
saying the HP. The ghost, I assume, has less.
Oh yeah, that's the lesser one.
Yeah, seems fair.
Oh, if the website, I guess everybody's playing D&D on a Friday night.
Seems
D&D
fair.
Beyond
We
is just
would
giving me trouble.
technically be playing a game tonight if it weren't for the fact that
Yeah,
one of our
absolutely.
good friends is not available. Philip is out of town.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so trying to get it back. Okay, cool. So there are 3 technically. So there's ghostly, putrid, and skeletal.
Yeah.
Real quick. So putrid has an aura that's like 5-foot emanation, and you'll poison people. Your
It's
spell save
slow
DC.
but good crowd control.
Yeah. Ghostly has an incorporeal passage. It can move through other creatures and objects as if they were difficult terrain. If it ends its turn inside of something, it takes 1d10 for every 5 feet, whatever. Um, Ghost has a death touch as its attack, right? Um, and the cool thing is it can get multi attack if you cast it as higher levels. What happens is it has a number of attacks equal to half the spell's level rounded down. That's
So
kind
if
of
you
cool
cast at
scaling.
4, you get 2. Cast at 6, you get 3.
Yeah, not bad. Ghost touch or deathly touch. It's your spell attack modifier to hit. It does 1d8 plus 3 plus the spell's level. And I go 3 plus the spell's level. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It does scale a little bit. And you'll give it frightened if you hit. There's no save. Doesn't say that there's a save.
Yeah. Wait.
So they're just frightened till the end of
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which
That's right in along the line of what the warlock familiars can do though, so it's
mhm,
normalish.
yeah.
You get
So
honestly, damn, it'd be sick if the artificer got that for its creepy Frankenstein monster.
absolutely, it would be sick. So maybe they'll
I guess
take a
don't
look
give
at
it to
that. I don't know.
everyone, then it becomes homogenized.
Yeah. The skeletal one is the ranged attack, so it's got a bow or whatever. It's a grave bolt. It's your spell attack modifier to hit. Range is 150 feet. It's
Damn.
a long range. Yeah. 2d4 plus 3 plus spell level necrotic damage. No riders, just that damage. But that's pretty good, honestly.
No, that's great actually. Dang.
Yeah.
2d4 plus 3 plus spell level.
Yeah.
That's 2d4 plus 6.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
you're
Yeah.
yeah, and if you did it at level 6, it's
See,
2d4 plus 9 3 times.
see, this is the stuff I'm talking about. Like, I understand that you want your reanimator, homunculus, familiar, whatever you want to call it, to explode as much as possible as
Mm-hmm.
fast as you can. And they gave it low hit points because of that. But it's also one of those things where it's like,
Yeah.
gosh, I'm really going to be spending spell slots as an artificer who doesn't get that many. So
Yeah.
this
The last
once again better.
Yeah, better. And then the last option, if you pick putrid, right?
Mm-hmm.
It has a rotting claw, spell attack modifier to hit, reach 5, right? It's melee. 1d6 plus 3 plus spell level slashing, so not necrotic, slashing.
Nice.
If the target is poisoned, it now has the paralyzed condition until the end of its next turn.
Oh my god, it's a
Sick
ghoul.
nasty. Sick nasty.
Dang.
Like if you can poison that thing, oh my goodness, paralyze. Because every turn you can use your bonus action to make this thing attack, and if it attacks, it's paralyzed, and then you go, hey, guess what? I'm gonna crit. Or my friends are gonna crit,
Yeah. No, that's
Nice.
some good stuff. Let's see. And you get
Right.
that once without a spell slot per long rest. And it does the fun thing that the Fey Ranger does, where you can also, when you cast this spell, you can forego concentration at the cost of it only lasting for a minute. So
Yeah.
yep.
Which is, yeah, you're gonna do that, you're gonna bane, you're gonna have your concentration, which, hey, do that for a ranger. Anyway,
Yeah.
because Hunter's Mark is very important now, just like Hex is about to be very important when we talk about Hexblade.
Oh boy, it is.
But
Shadow Walk is our good old teleport boy, level 14. You can teleport 120 feet as long as you're going from dim to dim. We know that from Shadow Monk. It's still in Shadow Sorcerer
Yep.
too. And then Umbral form is Kluji. Bonus action: adopt a shadowy
Yeah.
form. Gain the benefits below for 1 minute until you have the incapacitated condition, or until you end the form. No action required. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest or until you spend 6 sorcery points. Hey, this is the first thing I'm reading in this subclass where you spend sorcery points.
Hey.
Why did I forget those existed for the entire subclass? Huh?
Because life's not fair.
I guess it's fine. Like, you used to have to summon the Hound for sorcery points, but now you just get spell slots, which are basically just mom's old sorcery points anyway. So whatever.
You're gonna convert it to, that's fine.
It's fine. Incorporeal movement. Move through unoccupied spaces, like difficult terrain. If you enter turn in such space, take your force damage like a good little kid. Shadow resilience. Resistance to all damage except force and radiant, obviously. Not being vulnerable to radiant damage is a little goofy to me, but that's fine. You don't want to give them a subclass feature that gives them a negative.
Yeah.
And then Strength of the Grave. If you would drop to 0 and not die outright, you make a Charisma save. If you succeed, your hit points instead change to the number equal to 3 times your Sorcerer level, which at this point would be 54.
60 minus 6. Yep.
So that's DC 5 plus half the damage you've taken. Wow. Okay, so I was going to say when I read the first half of this one that's dumb, and I hate things that make you heal back up when you drop to 0 and end stuff. But this one
is fair.
I would say it's actually not fair. Boy, howdy, it's going to be hard to down you. Even if you take a fire, let's see, DC 5 plus half the damage taken. Charisma saving throw on a sorcerer. That's one of your good saves. You're at level 18, so you have a +5 and a +5. That's a 10 already. If you rolled, let's say median, a 10, that takes you from taking 40 damage that would KO you.
Yeah.
To being back up in its 54.
54, yeah.
And it does not end the form.
Nope, it just keeps going. for that minute, right?
I have a problem with this. That's stronger than barbarian raising.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It is. Now
You've just taken away from the barbarian. You've gotten a better version.
you could people will say, I'm not going to say that you could say, and I don't agree with this either. I'm just steel manning this, right?
Sure.
But you have to make a saving throw, right?
Okay.
I could fail that. I could roll a 1.
You could.
Yeah, you could. You could.
But I mean, God forbid anything try to multi-attack you into the ground. Then the DC
yes.
is 10.
And
You
yeah,
pass
10
that
probably.
with flying colors on your own.
Just asleep, yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's you're immune to chip damage, basically.
Yeah. Basically what this means is, oh man, I've already janked it, Charles. Oh man, I'm at 2 HP. Fighter. Tap, let's go. I want to heal.
Yeah.
Come on, fighter. Hit me with one of those beautiful sword swipes. Don't use all your weird crazy stuff. Just give me like a 5-er. I'm good.
Yeah. Here, take this dagger. Hit me as hard as you can. Well, maybe not as hard as you can, but hit me pretty hard.
Yeah. That is
like,
they're gonna have to change that if an enemy would hit you or
yes.
For all the things where they see shadows where there aren't any, this one there's a definite shadow and you should do something about it, because that ability right there is, I'm happy it's a capstone and it's strong. It's a little too jankily strong to be reasonable, in my opinion. Just my opinion. I see that getting nerfed. Speaking of nerfs,
yeah, and I
no, go ahead, please, by all means.
No, I'm gonna let you segue with that because, oh boy, is the internet mad about this one.
We're at the Hexblade now, folks, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
To which I say, fuck you. Hexblade was too strong. Fuck you. Sorry. Oh, God.
See, and I knew you were going to feel that way, too.
Something was in my throat. Okay, so you've made a pact with a sentient magic weapon, yada, yada, yada. They're still trying to do the flavor of this to have you have the Sword of Kos or the damn... I don't know, Eldritch Blade, Eldrick's Blade, but I don't remember what it's called anymore.
Yes.
The uppity sword that can grant you haste.
Yeah. It's gonna bother me. I'm gonna look that up, but it's
anyway.
Yeah.
It's so different because we talked about this before when we talked about the new Pact of the Blade stuff. The Hexblade is not a Hexblade anymore. It doesn't need to exist because you could just take the Pact of the Devil or Pact of the Fiend and take the Pact of the Blade. Or Fiend Pact Warlock, Pact of the Blade. You're good. You're better than a Hexblade was. Genuinely, hands down. And then it's just you have to actually go into the class instead of just taking a 1-dip, which, again, fuck you. Stop doing that. I don't care about your jank. Play a thing that makes sense. Don't just shoehorn Hexblade into everything because you want to do the strongs. Again, just my 2 cents. What we have here is
I agree.
Thank you. Oh, what we have here is we have a lot of changes. Hexblade spells, expanded spell list now gives you a list of always prepared spells. Again, they did this in the UAs for everything originally, and it was great. And then they kept this, and it's great because poor warlocks have such a jank, terrible spell list. They need all the help they can get.
Yeah.
Hexblade Manifest is a new feature allowing you to cast Hex a number of times without a spell slot. And then you don't have concentration too. It's great. No, that's not what happens. You have to concentrate on Hex. Get absolutely shit-wrecked. All of you warlocks, you do not get to have fun spells on concentration. You get to cast Hex and Hex and Hex. And Kobold would be rolling in his grave if he were dead, but he's very much alive, much to his chagrin, looking at this feature. Lifestealer is a new feature that interacts with the Hex spell to provide healing and reliable damage. Armor of Hexes now more reliably reduces damage taken. I will say Armor of Hexes is a win. Masterful Hex is now a feature that boosts power of Hexblade Manifest. Let's take a look at the spell list. This one,
Yes.
bangers all the way down.
Yes. Absolutely.
Arcane Vigor, which I don't even know what that is.
I can look that up for you real quick.
Hex, magic weapon. Okay. Shield, Wrathful Smite.
Yep.
What's Arcane Vigor?
Yeah, so Arcane Vigor. You tap into your life force to heal yourself as a 2nd level spell. Bonus action. Roll 1 or 2 of your unexpended hit points die and regain a number of hit points equal to the roll's total plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
Oh.
Those are then expended. So basically, you could tap into your hit die to use right then.
That's kind of cool as heck.
It's a nice little self heal. I just want you to know it's an abjuration spell, and I absolutely love that. Anyway.
Oh, wait, is that an actual heal on an abjuration arcane spell?
Yes. Yeah. Yep, and it is.
Wait, this is
Wizard Sorcerer.
This is the Sorcerer one. I remember this. Hold on.
Yeah.
Is it Sorcerer only, or is it Wizard as well?
It's Wizard Sorcerer, yeah.
Ooh.
And then this Warlock. Yeah. Yeah, pretty nice.
Okay.
I like Arcane Vigor. Yeah, level. What's the scaling on this? Number of unexpended hit die you can roll increases by 1 for each spell slot above 2. Right, so that makes it a good Warlock spell as well, because you're going to be casting it at the highest level anyway.
Yep.
Although you wish that you could use a lower level spell slot if you could, but you can't. So
you don't have those. You're a Warlock, and you refuse to like the new UA they gave you where you could have actual spell slots. This is your own fault. You did this to yourself.
Much like the whole pact thing, when you think about it, I think Warlocks are always doing this to themselves.
Yeah, it's kind of true, honestly. Juicy take.
Is that the juice?
God damn it. Wrathful Smite. You always got it. You still get it. Conjure Barrage. Unneed edition.
Nice.
And Conjure Barrage actually kind of good now, because also Ranger feature. Dispel Magic, sure, why not? Freedom of movement, staggering. No, I will go back real quick. Level 5, you used to get haste, I believe, with the Hexblade spell list. So
yes.
Pour one out for them, boys. They're not as happy as they used to be, but also pretty sure you can just take haste as a Warlock.
Yeah, I think you can.
Yeah, I think their spell list includes that now. So just, go nuts.
Yeah. Conjure Barrage is pretty thematic too.
Yeah.
Like you can do some cool stuff with that.
Yeah, definitely. Freedom of movement and staggering smite, love it. But let's talk about animate objects and Steel Wind Strike on a Warlock.
Oh man.
If there's anybody that I wanted Steel Wind Strike to be available on, it is the guy who can cast like 10 level 5 spells a day.
Yes.
Baby.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you what I'm going to do on the start of every combat.
No, that is amazingly good. Like, it's like, hey, you have animate objects. That's cool. Right? Also thematic, I can see a Hexblade Warlock with a bunch of daggers and they animate them all, right? Like, that's cool.
Yeah. Not to mention it goes right along with what the juice of their Hexblade Manifest is. You know what? Why am I being mad about the juice? We're bringing back the juice. Let's go.
You can't stop us. But hey, animated object is concentration, so don't get too excited.
Yeah, don't get too excited, you fucking idiots. You're gonna be busy thinking about how much you hate some guy.
Yeah. Like I thought about it and I was like, wait, isn't anime? It is. Yeah. Well,
damn it. Oh. All right. Here we go. We're going to keep going. Hexblade Manifest. Your patron grants you the power to summon cursed echoes of its blade to hinder your foes. So basically, you hang a sword of Damocles over them. Thematic. You like to see it. Hexblade's Curse. You can cast Hex without expending a spell slot a number of times equal to your Charisma modifier. Sick as hell. You regain all expended uses on a long rest. Also nasty. And it's only a level 1 version of it, which means you don't have to spend a level 5 spell slot. Boy howdy, when you cast Hex, a spectral weapon resembling your patron's orbits the cursed target.
Yeah.
Hexblade Maneuver.
Sick.
Once per turn, when you are hit by a target cursed by your hex with an attack roll, you can cause one of these additional effects. Draining Slash. The target makes a con save against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the target can't make opportunity attacks and its speed is halved until the start of your next turn.
Nice.
When you hit a target cursed by your hex. So,
yeah, when you
hit them with your, with your blast, because that's what you're going to do, even though you're Hexblade. Harrowing Blade. The target makes a wisdom saving throw against your spell save DC. On a failed save, the next time the target makes an attack roll against a creature other than you before the start of your next turn, target takes necrotic damage equal to your charisma modifier. Boring. Moving on. Stymieing Mark. The target has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes before the start of your next turn.
Yeah, that one's.
Huh?
yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah, that
why
one's
are
pretty
we,
cool.
Why are we giving everything's coming up? Juice House, nice. Why are we giving everything disadvantage, boys and girls? This is a dangerous precedent to set at level 3.
Yes, at level 3. Yeah.
That's. Can we, guys? We're getting to the point where bosses are not going to mean anything anymore unless they have legendary. Do you want tier 1 legendary resistances? Is that what you want? Because this is how you get tier 1 legendary resistances.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's only one saving throw. It's not until your turn.
Hold person.
Yeah, I get that, but you're level 3.
Level 2.
So, yeah. Yeah.
No, sir, I don't like it. But even more than that, what I hate about it is, hey, once per turn.
Yeah. Every single turn, yep.
You may as well have just taken the first 2 and said, whatever.
Yeah. I don't want to play with these anymore.
I mean, maybe you're going to hit a dude with Draining Slash so you can get away, but that has a DC.
Sure. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I guess you could also just use it because let's remember, hey, what do Hexblades get if you're packed to the blade?
More attacks.
Nope. That's right. Weapon masteries. So.
Sure.
So you're going to be able to knock people prone and do all sorts of other things better than a fighter. And
sure.
We always forget that weapon masteries exist, and yet they do. And here they are.
Yeah. Because I haven't played with them.
Yeah, exactly. But it's one of those things that you always forget is just a passive, constant reminder. So we're going to have disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes. The next saving throw it makes is going to be for the charging barbarian to not knock them 50 feet with a Sparta kick that just sends them careening through a wall.
Yeah. It's a cool setup. But yeah, it's so strong.
Don't do it, Wizards. Please don't do it. It's speaking as the forever DM in the room and with my forever DM friend here with me, please don't do this to the DMs that run your very fun and lovely game. They don't want to have their bosses get to do nothing for the entirety of the encounter. I know the players will have fun, or they'll think they have fun, but come on. Make it have to do something. Make it have a save. I don't know. Make it save on the disadvantage for the next save. Fine, whatever. Just give me something. Life Stealer.
Yeah.
Patron Might allows you to drain vitality from those who curse. Oh, okay. So whenever the target cursed by your hex. Okay, let's also point out that so far we are at level 6 and nothing works if you don't have your target hexed.
Yep.
Let's see if that trend continues. Whenever the target cursed by your hex drops to 0 hit points, you regain hit points equal to 1d8 plus your charisma modifier. That's nice. That was usually very hard to proc before, but I imagine with all the hexing you're doing now, it won't be as bad. Inevitable Blade. Once per turn, if you make an attack roll against the target cursed by your hex, you can deal necrotic damage to that creature equal to your charisma modifier if you miss. Oh, okay. That's just passively online, so now you automatically have the greatsword weapon mastery.
Yeah, yep.
Level 10, Armor of Hexes. When you take damage from a cursed target of your hex, there it is. You can take a reaction to reduce the damage taken by an amount equal to 2d8 plus your charisma modifier. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your charisma modifier. That's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the
Yeah,
miss
it's
that
fun.
the auto miss that was roll a d6 and see if you roll high was bleh, more
Mhm.
uniquely interesting, I think. But this is not
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, and it's interesting that this is a long rest for the traditionally not
It
long rest.
They are certainly making people track more long rest individual things.
Mhm.
I don't really have a problem with it myself, but some players aren't exactly. We'll see.
Right. It'll be interesting because it's the odd feature out.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Masterful Hex, level 14. Let's see if this has to do with hexing the target. Your patron's accursed might flows more strongly through you, granting the following benefits. A curse critical. Any attack roll you make against the target cursed by your hex scores a critical hit on a roll of 19
Mhm.
or 20. Okay, so they moved that down.
Yeah.
Infectious Hex. When you use one of your Hexblade maneuvers, which you need to use on your target cursed by your hex, um,
Mhm.
you can target one additional creature within 30 feet of the cursed target. Oh, good. So you can use it on another target as long as you have a target cursed by your hex.
Mhm.
And then Resilient Hex.
Yep.
Taking damage can't break your concentration on hex. That's great. Hey, real quick, let's count up all the number of spells that you cast as a hex blade that you would need concentration for. So let's see.
Yeah.
Wrathful Smite,
Mm.
Magic Weapon.
Yeah.
Is Freedom of Movement? I don't think it is, but I think it's pretty high level, and
No.
that's why.
Yeah. Animate objects.
Animate objects.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure let's check the smites, shall we? Let's let's go to the smites.
Sure.
Staggering Smite, because it's been a bit since I saw the newly reformed smites, but I'm fairly certain.
Uh,
Nope, duration instantaneous, component V, no
okay.
concentration. Wrathful Smite, I do believe, has
Yeah.
a follow on Riders, so it might be that one is a bit more wibbity wobbity.
Yeah. I think it's concentration 1 minute. Yeah.
Would you look at that duration 1
Oh,
minute? It does not say concentration though.
that was the legacy one. They
Yeah,
removed concentration. That's the difference.
good, good. So at least the smites don't have concentration anymore. Sadly, I don't think magic
Mhm.
weapon works anymore with this build, nor does freedom of movement. We decided wasn't right.
Yeah, but I can look that up. So I'm going to magic weapon right
Yeah, go to
now.
magic weapon.
Duration 1 hour. No concentration.
Thank crap. Oh, so magic
Mhm.
weapon's been retooled. Okay, so that one's
Yeah.
not bad. All we have is
Mhm.
animate objects and
Yeah, probably freedom of movement. Most likely. I can't imagine it's not, but hey. All right, 2024. Nope, it's 1 hour. No concentration. So hey, got to give it to him there.
you have to give it to them.
Even
And
freedom of movement.
I also have to, I guess, mini give it to them because haste is not on the spell list anymore. And I guess for obvious reasons, because if you're casting haste, you know you're not casting
Yep.
X.
Hmm.
So there's a bunch of things that I could say about this, but I think the most poignant thing that I will ever say is that warlocks have always been supplemented by their individual spell list by the fact that most of their spells are powerful concentration spells. Hunger for
Hmm.
Dar, um,
Hmm.
X, which honestly was always the most feel bad one of them. There are a bunch of them,
Yeah.
but many of the original warlock spell accoutrement were concentration spells
Hmm.
because it made them feel stronger going into fights.
Hmm.
And because they only got one spell per friggin' day, so it was really difficult for them to cast
Yeah.
something and then not hold on to it, God forbid. Um,
Yeah.
Making it so that they're forced to concentrate on hex for the entirety of their
Hmm.
duration, while it does just encourage them to be more on the out for spells that
Hmm.
require concentration, it's also kind of
Hmm.
it's taking away from a core set of things that they used to do. Maybe
Yeah,
it's that they've changed it so they don't need it as much.
and it could be because at least two of those that I looked up were concentration and are no longer.
Yeah.
Animate objects still stands out because it's not a capstone spell. It's level 9. Let's be, but you don't get any more after 9.
What you cast is a level
So it
5.
should be a great one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
it
level 5
should
spell
be a
slots
great
are
one.
the best you get.
Yeah. So it should be a great one. And animate objects can be, but then you don't have any of your abilities.
Also, I'd like to point
Yeah.
something out as someone who
Hmm.
plays a thematically appropriate thing. I've been playing my Blade Singer pretty happily with our Baldur's
Hmm.
Gate run. We're at mid Act 2 right now. Um, Boy, it does suck to run out of Blade songs.
Yep. Hmm.
And you can cast your hex for free without expending a spell slot a number of times equal to your charisma modifier. Sick. That's going to probably be about a 3 or 4.
Hmm.
So that recharges on a short rest? No, it's a long rest.
Uh, it's a long rest.
So on a 4 combat encounter day, that's fine.
Yeah,
What do I do in my
but you
5th
can't tell
combat
me.
encounter?
Yeah, you hope that you had a short rest so you can use your spell
So I
slot
can use my level 3 spell slot. Oof.
on hex. Yeah.
On Hex. I mean,
Hmm.
it's better than it was. I'll give them
Yeah.
that. I mean, at least the holding hex concentration jank was already built in with the weird way that they
Yeah.
formatted the spell originally. So
Hmm.
it's it's not unusual to be doing this anyway, but boy, it does feel
Yeah.
kind of goofy when your your entire your entire set of things that you do in a subclass is hinged on you holding concentration on hex on a
Yep.
particular opponent.
Yeah. And just so that we don't have to talk about it, Rangers, same thing, but Hunter's Mark. That's the subclass that's in here. Same thing, but Hunter's Mark.
Yeah, but except
So
the other
yeah.
stuff that Ranger does is mm,
Yeah. Yeah, fair.
that Ranger's a bastard.
Uh yes, yes.
Let's
And it's cool.
yeah. I don't know, but I like all I like this is another one of those where I'm like, not only is this a flavor win, this is strong. This is very strong, as Hexblade ever was.
Hmm.
And it makes
Yep.
it so that you don't need to use Fiend Patron, even though I still would for
Yeah.
sword wielding Warlock.
Hmm.
Hexblade is fine. And I mean, the only thing that I would say about it is it doesn't force you to use a weapon.
Yeah.
So you're going to use Eldritch Blast, but that's listen. The true fantasy of every Hexblade Warlock is to fantasize about the sick, nasty sword that they get to hold in their hand while they
Yep.
Eldritch Blast everything from 200 feet away and murder it.
Yes, exactly. That is
And
peak Warlock.
yeah, that is the Gish part of the Warlock is when they realize that their
Yeah.
Eldritch Blast will never be outscaled by whatever weapon they're wielding. Sorry, boys. You solved it already. Level 1.
But 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 I could use a great sword and yeah.
Yeah,
No.
then what? Let me just check real quick. You're allowed to. Oh yeah, it's Pact of the Blade. You have to go out of your way to
Yeah.
look at Pact of the Blade for what your spellcasting ability is and how you can use
Hmm.
things. So
Yeah,
that's a
I
thing.
mean, yeah, you could get a martial melee weapon. You could get your great sword.
Yeah.
You can. I don't think that it limits you. One hand. It does not. I don't believe that that's true. I think that's just swords bard. Um. So yeah, you could, but I don't think you're gonna because you don't get weapon mastery. If you could get weapon mastery, okay, maybe because then you could double that. I missed, but do more do damage anyway.
Wait, does Pact of the Blade not get weapon mastery anymore? I thought that was in one of the UAs.
Maybe. Let's see. Maybe later on, looking at the first as a bonus action, you get. Let's see. Does it grow? Is there a second one? Is there a second invocation you could take to make it better? Probably, right?
Maybe. God damn, that wizard
Extra
looks so
attacks.
cool.
Though what looks so good?
The wizard at the start of the wizard page. She looks so fucking
Oh
good.
yes. Yeah. Pact of the Blade. Thirsting Blade is extra attack.
Yeah, Thirsting Blade has always been extra attack.
Yeah. And then there's Life Drinker, but that's just more damage, and Eldritch Smite, which is just more damage. No, I don't see it.
Oh yeah, so never mind. You would have to dual class to be able to use weapon mastery. Get
Yeah.
extra rocked. You're going to be using Eldritch Blast the entire game.
Oh yeah. For sure. Yeah, because I thought they got it as well. Because I was like, well, at least you have one, right, with your packed weapon, whatever your packed weapon has, and like you could switch it up. No, I don't think so. I don't see mastery at all on their D&D Beyond, and this is 2024. Yeah, so
Yep, no. Nope, no weapon mastery. Well, take a feature, I guess.
2 levels of fighter, like you
It's
may
fine. You
have
get
wanted to anyway.
Stymieing Mark and Harrowing Blade and Draining Slash. Those are all arguably better than weapon masteries anyway. And then you just tech into a weapon mastery, and then you get to have it plus this bullshit.
Yeah, yeah, and that will be sick, and that is kind of cool for a Hexblade because you want to be a weapon master. Now, yeah, that should be somewhere given to you instead of something else, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Actually, I'd say make them work for it a little bit because otherwise they're way too strong.
Okay, fair.
I
I
think,
mean, like an invocation or something. Invocations are so powerful. I
yeah,
don't
I
know
mean,
that
you
I
could
would
just
want to
take a
spend it
feat
on
as an
it.
invocation, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a feat that's just like take a weapon master.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Let's see. Warlock Undead Patron. I did not look at this one that
Yeah.
much.
No, because I never really liked it.
It
But I think,
it was
yeah, go
one of
ahead.
those early attempts, right? At a subclass,
Yes,
and it was one of
it
those,
was.
well, we're gonna make you a reanimator that pops up when you fall, and that's the theming.
Yeah. So, going over the changes, I could do this real quick, right? So you get your spell list, right, of always prepared spells. So going through them though, once again, some bangers, right? I mean, kind of. You get blindness, deafness at level 3, false life at level 3, phantasmal force, ray of sickness. Oh, okay. Speak with that vampiric touch at 5. Okay, I'm regretting my words here. I thought there were at least more. Wait, okay, so death ward and phantasmal killer. All right. I'd have to remember how good phantasmal killer is.
Phantasmal Killer's fine. Look
But
at the level 9 ones.
yeah, anti-life shell and cloud kill. Cloud kill. I
The old
we
version of
just
Cloud
had
Kill,
it.
listen, we're still hyped
Yeah.
from third ed Cloud Kill, and I think we
Yes.
all need to come down a little bit.
Exactly. Right. Because Philip used it against us, but it's a 2024 cloud kill, and we're like, well, yeah, that hurt for a moment, but then it was just that's it, right? Like you just that's it. Because it's not as good as it feels like it should be, but it's still pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
It's like it hits you when you move in there, and if you end your turn there, okay, but it's only once per turn that you have to save, right? That's whatever. It's what 5d8 to start, 5d8 to start. Con saving throw. Con saving throw. But hey, maybe you
5d8?
hit them
Yeah.
first. No, you didn't because you're not a hexblade.
Yikes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. You get Form of Dread now. You get a
Yeah.
goofy little boy warble that you do.
Yeah.
Sorry, you transform into an avatar of your patron's dreadful power.
with a bonus action.
Boy, we sure did need more of those. Mike
Yeah,
Merle,
sure.
man, that guy must hate everything. Every
Yeah,
single thing you
probably.
do that is not a physical attack now is just a bonus action.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, so I mean, yeah, it's another long rest too,
Yeah.
which is fine.
Well, number of times equal to your charisma modifier long rest. So, yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that we talked about this before. I appreciate that they've doled out lots of long rest and short rest mechanics to all the classes because I felt like that was something that was
Mm-hmm.
necessary to make the classes not feel imbalanced.
Yeah, exactly. Like where everybody else is like, oh man, I really need this long rest. Your Rolex is like, but why though?
The Warlock is
And
just
now
like, I
you
have
have a little bit.
coffee, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
I mean, like, Form of
I'm
Dread is what? Temporary hit points?
uh, you gain temporary hit points equal to 1d10 plus Warlock level.
Okay.
And you have immunity to the frightened condition. Once per turn, you hit a creature with an attack roll, you force to make a wisdom save. Fail save, they're frightened. So, you can't frighten, and you only frighten once per turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with your Eldritch Blast, because let's be honest.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you pop them in the face and they're like, oh, that's fucking strong. Sorry,
That's
someone
scary.
else is
Uh, oh, you're good. So, like, that's Form of Dread. Like, that's a minute of temporary HP, right? It's not regenerating temporary HP. It's just temporary HP, and you can frighten some people.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
mean, that's
this is the
okay.
horror UA. It's
Yeah.
on brand. So,
Mm-hmm. Then you got your spells, and then at level 6 you get Grave Touched.
yep.
Which, okay, so you get both of these. Yeah, you get both of these. Whenever you cast a spell or hit a creature with an attack roll and deal necrotic damage, it ignores resistance. Additionally, once per turn, when you cast a spell that deals damage while in Form of Dread, you can change that spell's damage type to necrotic. Now, that is the coolest thing. I would like a necrotic. I don't know that they could get a fireball, but this is how you get a necrotic fireball, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Kind
Actually,
of
having
fun.
trouble scrolling down. Sorry, everybody. Yeah,
Oh, you're good.
yeah.
Like, that's cool, right?
I mean,
And
that's
then
cool because that's
also,
like stealing the tiniest bit of the sorcerer's lunch, but I'm okay with it.
yes, yeah, just the tiniest bit because you can only change it to one type, but you also strip resistance to that. So pretty good when you absolutely positively have to do damage and you're a warlock. You don't want to waste your spells, right? In combat.
Can,
So
can
that kind of uh-huh.
but yeah, can we talk about undead endurance real quick?
Yeah, we certainly can. So that you don't gain exhaustion levels from dehydration, malnutrition, or suffocation. In addition, you don't need to sleep, and magic cannot put you to sleep. Coffee lock.
Yeah,
Kind of.
yeah. I mean, I think the thing that I was hearing was like, hey, you like downtime, right? You got eight more hours of it.
Enjoy.
What's a fucking long rest anyway?
Uh, I can't wait for every warlock in the world that's hypergaming to be like, so you guys are sleeping for 8 hours? So I can get a short rest and cast some spells, and then a short rest and then cast some spells, and then a short rest and then cast some spells. How can I use that?
Well, I mean, but remember, you won't have your form of dread. You'll have your form of feeling
Yeah,
dead because you won't have slept. That that is the boy.
yeah,
Oh, but that's the boy. You do need to take your long rest. It's
yeah,
just if you don't, you won't get any. Well, no.
yeah.
So here's the thing. It says exhaustion levels from dehydration, malnutrition, suffocation, and you don't need
Suffocation.
sleep and can't be put to sleep. It does not say
Yeah,
you can forego your long rest.
right.
That would
And
still,
that's
I
what I
believe,
mean.
give you a level of exhaustion.
Yeah, and like the benefit you think that you're getting is not the benefit that you're getting.
Yeah.
No, it's not. And it makes sense that you don't get that because that would be sick.
Yeah, because that would fundamentally break a core component of the game, which is the game wants you to take
Yeah.
a long rest to recharge your long rest actions. You want
Yeah.
it, do it.
Yeah. So it's cool and thematic. And yeah, you can stay in a coffin for decades.
Sure, why
You
not?
felt like you could be Vincent from Final Fantasy VII.
I really do need to play that
Yeah.
second game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
I will say no
Actually, I
words
should
about
play
it.
Claire Obscura first. Shout out to Claire Obscura. Everything
Yeah.
I've heard about it is fucking stellar. And people who say it doesn't
I
deserve Game of the Year for some stupid reason, shut up, you're being stupid.
I am literally exploding at the seams to talk about it with people, but I have finished it and a lot of people haven't. So I'm not going to say a goddamn thing because this is a game that is very easy to spoil.
Listen, I just want to
Very.
say that I was so glad that when I finished, you were like, I'm exploding at the seams to talk about 16. I was like, cool. I hope to finish it someday. And then I did finish it. And I was like, oh no, I don't think I vibed with this as much as Charles. And then we talked about
Yep.
it. You're like, no, I need to talk about it because I didn't vibe with it as much. I was like, oh,
Yep.
thank God.
This
Because
is
there were so many good things,
I
but
try.
they missed the mark.
Yeah, I try, and it's so hard. Especially like I'm at work and I'm talking to someone who likes RPGs, and I'm like, Claire Obscura is a good game. Why? It's a good game. I'm not going to tell you how it makes me feel until you play it because I don't want to prime the pump. Yes,
Yeah.
I think it's good. That's all you'll get from me. That's it.
Yes. Oh, superior. So superior dread. You can fly. Congrats. You can.
They fly now.
You cast a warlock spell from conjuration or necromancy. Cast it without any verbal, somatic, or material components, except if they had money cost. And then once per turn, when you deal necrotic, you regain hit. Oh, just you get a tiny little. You get heroism.
A tiny
basically.
trickle. Yeah.
That's a level 1 spell.
And
you just cast heroism.
Yeah, and once per once per turn when you do necrotic damage, that's every spell you do if you're doing it right because you can change it.
Yeah.
So okay, once per turn you just get 5 HP. That's
yeah.
Maybe 7. No, you're level 14. Never mind. You're gonna maybe get 5.
Yeah.
I thought it was 18, but nah.
No. Level 14 capstone.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all in all, good stuff. Form of Dread. Hey, you know what it didn't tell you to do is cast Hex on everything. So
yeah,
there's that.
I think. Did they change? Yeah, they changed the 10 necrotic husk. Yeah. The resistance to necrotic damage. You have immunity when you're in Form of Dread, but I think it was the second one, Unholy Resuscitation. You drop to 0 and don't die. You can blow up. And it's each creature of your choice instead of the Artificer, right?
My goodness, that's crazy. Each creature of my choice explodes the way I want to?
Within 30 feet, too. That's a fireball. That's bigger than a fireball.
I mean, yeah, but it's like a monk fireball. Look at the damage. 2d10 plus your warlock level. Womp womp.
Yeah. Yeah. And you gain 1 exhaustion level, by the way, because you got back up.
I'm not supposed to be allowed to get those. This is bullshit. Technically, me exploding is a form of rapid dehydration. I feel I shouldn't gain that level of exhaustion.
I would probably give you that if you took some other. Because I hate exhaustion anyway. I don't want to have to track it. You don't want to have to track it, right? We'll figure it out. But yeah, then you get 10 times your charisma modifier HP when you get back up. So that's
gosh, cool. All of these subclasses
cool.
are so neat. Wouldn't it suck to hell if necrotic was like the second most resisted damage type in all of Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, and it's like whatever you no, but you don't have to worry about that because you can ignore resistance.
Oh, okay.
Whenever you cast a spell or hit a creature with an attack roll. So theoretically, you could cast a necrotic fireball that no one can resist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which level is that? Is that
6?
Below?
That's 6. Grave Touch.
Okay, cool. Arcane Necrosis.
Arcane Necrosis.
Cool. Thank goodness. I've always wanted the Elementalist feature to not have to be a feature for everything because it was kind of a really painful feature to take.
Exactly, right? Like, so that's very cool that they did that. And, you know, you can do some zany shit with it. You know, if you look at your Warlock spell list, see what you can make necrotic that is fucking stupid. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Well,
But yeah, that's undead.
that's undead. That's basically everything in all of the subclasses. I mean, there's some other
Yeah.
crazy one that's
Yeah.
just wilding out of control. So anyway, the Ranger Hollow Warden, I think is
Uh-huh.
quite possibly the. I mean, every time I think they've made the Drist
Sure.
build, and then they do some weird stuff. This one actually nothing to do with Drist, but
No, but
boy, is this the most actually mechanically and also thematically terrifying Ranger I've seen to date.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So let's see. What do we get? We get
Spells.
spells. We get Wrathful Smite, neat. We get Spike
Mm-hmm.
Growth. Oh, always love a good Spike Growth.
Mm-hmm.
Prepped. And then we get Phantom Steed. Well, okay.
Yep.
Sure.
Sure.
Hallucinatory terrain at 13. You like that spell? That's a decent spell.
Yeah, Genjutsu. Yeah.
See where this is going? And then we're gonna at level 17, we're gonna get Awaken, which
Yeah.
I forget what that even does. Is that the one that's the transformation for
Yeah. For
Rangers?
a creature, for a beast or plant. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh wow, they get Awaken? That's sick as hell, actually.
yeah. Right. So that's kind of cool. So they touch a beast or plant. It takes fucking 8 hours to cast, by the by. Um, but then you give it an intelligence of 10. It can speak a language you know. If it's a natural plant, it becomes a plant creature. If it's a beast, it's still a beast, right? Yeah, and so you get appropriate stats from your DM, like an awakened shrub or an awakened tree or whatever.
Yeah.
And the awakened target is charmed by you for 30 days or until you or your allies deal damage to it.
Yeah. All right. So here's the thing: we have level 3, level 7, level 11, level 15. That's not much.
Mm-hmm.
Surely this shouldn't be a terrifying subclass. Surely this is just
Yeah.
a normal thing. So let's look at Wrath of the Wild. For regular stuff, you draw on strange and ancient horrors of the land for power. When you cast Hunter's Mark,
As you do.
here we go again. We're not talking about it.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about Hunter's Marco. You get following benefits. Ancient Armor. You gain a bonus to your AC equal to your Wisdom modifier. Your body is wreathed in rotten bark or beastly bristles. So,
Yep.
I'm sorry, I don't know what's up with my nose right now. I just
Oh, it's all good. Like, so you're level 3. Your wisdom's probably +3, +4 if you're really lucky somehow.
I mean, would this be the first time that there's a good argument with a ranger to actually just go straight wisdom?
Maybe. I think so. I think in this one mostly because a lot of stuff is wisdom, right? And this is not really like a caster ranger, but you really could.
I mean,
So I don't know.
Remember that we
keep
can
going.
we can take Shillelagh as a ranger now.
Yeah.
We can do that early level jank on ranger and be a pseudo caster and take a cantrip. And Shillelagh is available to us.
Yeah. What else do you get with Wrath of the Wild?
I mean,
oh,
yeah, you go ahead.
You get the aura, the unnerving aura. When an enemy starts its turn within 10 foot from you, while this is on, so while you've used caster's mark, they have to make a wisdom saving throw. If they fail, they can either take an action or a bonus action, not both. It gives you some flavor here, which is cool. Your shadow lengthens and twists around you, or you sprout unnatural growths like bloody antlers or putrid fang, right? And that slows them.
That's cool and neat. Am I doing both of these at the same time? Because they're not like pick one. I get both.
You get both, yeah.
Yeah. Also, something to point out. This is not I need to remember. It's very important that I remember what the armor class bonus rules are because I'm pretty sure we're
Right.
still on a pick two system.
I think so.
If there are
Let
two
me see.
benefits, if there are more than two benefits that you get passively to your armor class, I do believe you have to pick between two of them.
Yeah, I think you are correct. Let's see here. Armor class. Here's okay. Yep. Some spells and class features give you a different way if you have multiple ways. I'm looking for bonus, not just armor class. It doesn't directly say in the armor class. It just says if you have multiple features that give you different ways to calculate your AC, you choose which one. Does not say anything about bonuses, but I'm sure that's in armor.
Well, then in
Probably.
that case, I would imagine that this just gives you a flat bonus. In which case, gross.
Yes, absolutely gross. Probably. So let's see. Armor class. Yeah. It doesn't really say anything there. So
So yeah,
maybe it's
if you
just a
cast
bonus.
Hunter's Mark on a dude, you get a +4 AC. If you're already playing a heavy armor
Yeah,
ranger or whatever you want to do, I
yeah.
believe that the
And not
math.
just against that person either.
Yeah.
Against everyone.
No, yeah, that's the crazy thing is you go, haha, Hunter's Mark, and then when you do it, rather than having to then have that happen against that opponent, like you would have to
Mhm.
like let's say for some idiot like a hexblade
Yeah.
nerds idiot fools a lot of them. I'm scary for
Yeah.
everybody because I don't like that one guy in particular. What's
Yeah.
my deal, am
You
I
know,
right?
I am seeing such a sick, nasty monk ranger with this.
Hey.
Starting to see it.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
starting to see it.
exactly, because usually for these sorts of things those unarmored bonuses, like
Mm-hmm.
they're calculations, but this is just saying a boost basically. It's not
On
saying your
top
armor
of it.
class
Yeah.
is equal to. That's what it was. You could have your armor class be equal to your
Bark
AC
skin, right? Or
plus
whatever.
dex, or
Yeah.
your uh your unarmored would be dex plus like con, or dex
Wiz.
plus int
For
for.
monk is wisdom. Yeah.
Yeah, for monk it's wisdom. But you couldn't
Yeah.
do both of those things because your baseline could not be
Yes.
modified double.
Yeah. So it's the calculation. And this is just on top. Now there might still be the whole, well, I have a bonus to my AC, so a cloak of protection doesn't work when this is working.
Yeah.
And I think that that's still true. But fuck a cloak of protection. I got a +4. What do I need
Let's
that for?
let's remember that bracers of defense will always be a thing.
Yep. Yep.
Hey, this is a
So I
level
mean,
3 feature of your ranger class, by the way, and
yeah.
you get a number of hunter's marks equal to. Hey, Charles, you know what the best way to not give a shit that you're concentrating on hunter's mark is?
What's that?
Be an actual fucking monk instead.
Yeah, exactly. Who cares?
Oh god. No.
3 level. I mean,
Way.
3 level dip's not going to get you that much, right? You get Wrathful
You
Smite,
get
which will be
Wrathful
funny on
Smite,
a
which
monk,
is not concentration.
right? Like, okay, so
No.
when do you stop? When do you stop? When do you stop? Okay, so not looking at the ranger stuff. If you were doing this just for the subclass stuff, so 7, you get Hungering Might.
Yeah.
So you gain a bonus to Constitution saving throws equal to your Wisdom modifier.
Wait.
All coming up, Juice
Wait.
House.
Wait. It's all coming up, Juice House. I did.
Fuck
That
it.
does not say when you have your hunter's mark active.
Nope.
That's just a
In
thing.
addition, once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack roll, when you're transformed, so you had to do Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
This one is transformed.
Yeah.
Regain a number of hit points equal to 1d10 plus your Wisdom modifier if you're bloodied.
If you're bloody. Okay, thank God. I was
If you're
reading
bloodied.
that in actual abject horror until it said when you're bloodied.
Right. So, you're healing yourself back out of bloodied once per turn. You'll get what? 5. By this time, your wisdom's, if you were doing this and you really wanted to focus on wisdom, it'll probably be at 20 by 8, maybe not by 7. Right. Depends.
Now,
if you still want to hit, because you're not getting wisdom to attack anywhere. Just saying.
no, you're not. At least
Mhm.
not from this subclass.
For
No,
monk
wait,
though.
I'm wrong. Remember, shillelagh.
Oh right, no, that's right. Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes. Oh yes, indeed. Um,
So
let's
the next
see.
one's 11.
Do we
Yeah,
stop at 11 or do we stop at 3, 7, or 11? What's 11? Your dedication to Eldritch Forest beings alters you further when transformed. Wrath of the Wild. Okay, so extra Hunter's Mark effects.
concentrating.
When a creature fails its saving throw against your unnerving aura, it takes necrotic, poison, or psychic, your choice,
Ooh,
equal to your ranger level.
level. And
Cool,
it
so you
ignores
just have
resistance.
spirit guardians. That's sick.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Nice.
Strangling Roots. When you hit a creature with an attack roll using a weapon, you can activate the Sap or Slow Mastery property in addition to a different mastery property you're using with that weapon?
Yeah, just sap or slow for free. I mean, while you're
They gave them the thing they should have given fighters, and they didn't even give it to fighters. What?
I knew this one in particular was gonna make you mad.
I'm so
This one in
angry right
particular
now.
is the one.
I'm incensed. This is I hate this. I hate that they can't just give fighters better weapon mastery than everybody else when it's literally their fucking
No,
juice. Why?
no, you can't have.
Damn it, I'm moving on. Ancient Endurance. Wholly suffused with Force Agent's powers, granting you the following benefits. Oh, look, if you drop to 0 hit points. We have a theming in the. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
complain about this in a second, but I'm gonna table that for now. I'm gonna hold on to this die in my
Yeah,
hand to remember I have something to say about dropping to 0
yeah.
hit points. Okay. If you drop to 0 hit points
Mm-hmm.
while transforming using Wrath of the Wild, don't die outright. You can spend a level 4 plus spell slot, no action required. Your hit points then instead change the amount equal to 5 times the level of the spell slot expended, which would be
Expended.
at most for you like a 25.
Yeah. So that's the weakest of these effects, I want to say.
Because
Yeah,
Timeless is you're immune to exhaustion. So all that sick nasty
just straight
shit
up.
we were talking about for the Hexblade or the Undead
Yeah.
Warlock. Here it is.
Yep.
Found it.
Yep.
You
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, I was just go. You go ahead. By all means, please.
Uh, no, it's just in the hypothetical of multi-classing this thing. You might go to 7. You might. 11 is like
Too much.
really pushing it, I think.
You're not
Yeah.
going to be monk enough for that.
No, certainly not. 7's probably doable. I'm not even thinking about what Ranger gives to you by 7 either, right? So that might be extra beneficial. You at least get like the weapon masteries. And what fighting styles, yeah.
Ooh, a rough cutoff that you never want to hit. Yeah,
Yeah.
you would almost certainly only take a 3 sub into Ranger for this.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
17 is your subclass feature for monk.
Yeah.
That's your
right.
subclass capstone.
So it's probably not really worth it. I mean, you get a fighting style,
Yeah.
weapon mastery, hunter's mark by then,
You can
and then this subclass.
But a fighting style, you can have fighting styles on a monk now, Charles. You just have to take 3 into this Ranger.
Yeah. Is it worth? I
Mm.
don't know.
I mean, let's play our favorite math game.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're a monk. We have bracers of defense. We always assume.
Yeah, of course.
We are a dex
sure.
monk.
Mm-hmm.
Or are we? Let's say we're a dex wisdom monk, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go 3 and 3 to start. Be
Sure.
reasonable.
Yeah.
We are looking at an armor class of, if we pop our form,
Yeah.
21.
20, yes, 21. Yeah.
You have to be roughly a level, let's say that's 21 at level 7, right?
Yes.
Because we're at least going to hit 1 ASI on monk, and then we're going to have to go 3 into ranger.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, that's already great. Now, if we say that we somehow make it to, let's go 4 and 5. It's a 9.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make it 5 wisdom because we are a monk and we like our saving DC. We're looking at a 24 AC on a monk. No, I'm sorry. I'm a dumbass. We're looking at a 26 because we always assume bracers.
Always, right? So, yeah, good fucking luck.
Also,
at that point,
deflect energy. Also, deflect attacks.
Yep.
Also,
right.
Woof. This is
This
is a wisdom dip, which we didn't have one of these before.
No, not at all, which is kind of cool. I really enjoy that. And you could push I don't think pushing, like, it depends on the monk subclass, because I don't like most of them.
I mean,
it's still 17, right? Those capstones are always good. No matter what.
Warrior
I think
Shadow is pretty fucking gross with this, I think.
Yes, right. Yeah, I think so too. Right, and you would want to get Cloak of Shadows because that's the 17 one. I'm more than sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's your big boy pants.
Yeah, this is straight up a monster monk ranger.
Yeah.
You are the thing that goes bump in the night. For real.
God bless, though, honestly, because that was something you never really got to do, and it was always kind of a pain that you never had it available to you, right? Because there should be a lot of synergy between the wisdom classes, cleric, ranger, and monk, and there never is.
Yeah, just never. Yeah.
Also,
so that's cool.
Let's look at this way. 3 dip into ranger, and you're a cleric. So you have full armor.
Yeah. Holy God.
And I
didn't even think about that.
And you have 5 on your wisdom stat because you're a fucking cleric. And you have a shield because most clerics come with shield proficiency. Hey, that's a 25 AC.
No, please. No, please. Could Paladin do it?
Charisma. Charisma.
Yeah, it's charisma. I know. They have a little wisdom.
Ranger's a wisdom class because all of its saving throws and DCs for its spells are wisdom.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. I just always get debated by the saves are wisdom and charisma.
Yeah.
For Paladin, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they need that defense. I always think about,
Yeah, no. Paladin has some really good saving throw. Well, I think is it strength and charisma? Is it wisdom and charisma for the Paladin good saves?
I think so, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yep.
But
yeah, I'm thinking of cleric, like war domain, be up there anyway. You want to be
that hunter's mark's going to come in real handy when you multi-attack.
Yeah, for sure, right? And I mean, cleric, you want to concentrate on other things, but maybe not, right? Because you're a war domain. You're gonna Crusader's Mantle, maybe it's not that strong.
At most, you're concentrating on an aura, I would say.
Spiritual weapon, maybe. Yeah.
Spiritual weapon, not. Oh wait, it is concentration now. Thank God they changed that.
It is, yeah, it is now.
So
I mean, it's basically your defense mode when you're going in and tanking. Because what is tanking in D&D?
Yeah.
What is that even?
I put my die down.
It's better than your Shield of Faith, that's for sure.
Shield of who?
Yeah, exactly. You would never ever and that's one of the things that is free for a war domain. So maybe there's not the overlap that I think. But what about a grave
Oh, right,
domain
because
cleric?
War Domain
That,
gets non-concentration spiritual weapon, right? That's their fun too.
I think so.
So see, there you go. Oof, that's
Oh boy,
that's the one. That's the one.
yeah,
It's a War Domain cleric, and
yeah,
it's a god of natural war or something.
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I,
You're the berserk rage of the forest.
you know what? I'm mad at us. They just took away Hexblade Dip, and they gave us this. Why? What? I can't be but so mad because we
Yeah,
never get to wisdom jank anything because it's never good.
yeah, it never works. Yeah, so you know, I don't know. I Ranger is so weird, and I would need to play a 2024 Ranger because I don't know anything about Ranger because I had to know everything about Ranger 5 times. So I have no idea what the fuck it does now. Like I couldn't tell you. So I
Yeah,
don't know. I'm sure that this is great. I just don't know how I would completely min max it. Though I would love to do a monk just to do it because it'd be funny.
Punk Ranger. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna go ahead and roll my die now, but I had a
Okay.
thing that I wanted to say, and that
Yeah.
is this. I I have a serious problem with the theming of these subclasses.
Hmm.
These are supposed to be subclasses that exist in a horror game.
Right.
Every single one of these subclasses says, "Did you drop me to 0 hit points?" No, you didn't. I'm back up.
Yeah.
Aren't horror games supposed to be scary and with higher stakes than a normal D&D game?
Okay. I
So
see why. I see why you were holding on to that. Yeah.
so
No,
why
that
are
makes perfect sense to me.
all of the horror game themed subclasses so resilient to being scared of things? You're literally telling your DM, here's a bunch of classes that they should look at when they're going into a horror setting, and then you're going to be playing in that setting like a Ravenloft, and a wolf's gonna howl scary, and your person's gonna be like,
Yeah.
"You're not scary, I'm scary. Come here, wolf." And the wolf
Yeah.
would be like, "Wait, no, hold on, dude. It was a prank." This I
Just a
appreciate
prank,
what
bro.
they've done for the flavor, but it's not how you're
Yeah.
supposed to play a horror game. You're supposed to be scared.
Yeah. You're supposed to be scared. And, but that's like, what do? You can't make them weaker, right?
No,
So, so how do you do a horror theme subclass? What do you think would be better for that sort of thing? Like instead of, I can't die.
I always
I,
like the
I don't know.
I always like the Archivist, the second player's handbook class that was
Oh,
basically,
okay.
yeah, the int based like cleric
Hmm.
almost, and it was a
Yeah.
lot of understanding and learning about monsters and being a Van Richten
Yeah.
essentially.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So specializing in horror monsters maybe, so this would have been, and some of this is right, but
Yeah,
like, yeah, the necrotic damage for a horror themed, like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Y- you're you're gonna rock up and be like, "Time to kill the undead." Blink. Oh wait,
Hmm.
right. I need to set my knob to force. Give me a second. Hold on.
Yeah, what we should have been is rating these by how well they would do in a Castlevania themed D&D game.
That's true. I've played in one of those, and honestly, I played a wildfire druid because it was just so
Yeah.
tasty thematic.
Hmm.
But
Right.
yeah, I don't know. Like that the I don't know that this is a fair thing to say or not, but I feel like these have so many flavor wins in them when you look at them removed from the idea that they are supposed to be the people who are scared in a campaign. These are the monsters. Your players are
Yes.
the monsters, and you, the DM, are the one being horrified. Because these things are going to
Yeah.
rock up to your horror campaign and they're going to shrug off everything you can throw at them thematically. And then they're going to be the one paralyzing your bad guy ghouls with their ghouls.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. hadn't thought of it until like we were halfway through, and I was like, wait a fucking second. If I'm playing any of these, I'm not scared in a horror campaign. All of these things
Yeah.
are the scary things.
Yeah.
Yes,
You know,
Strahd's the victim, not the villain.
I would say then the one that I think hits the target best is Bard.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're just channeling random spirits that are around, and that would give your DM a lot of flavor to scare you with. Right? I summoned a spirit and it was an arsonist. Why? Well, let's talk about the history of this place, right? That's why you got an arsonist here. So I could see that maybe.
Yeah.
Right? Because none of theirs are like, I scare people, I do any of this stuff. I'm beseeching the spirits that are near me.
Yeah.
I'm channeling the horror, not fully understanding it, and trying to use it and wheeling and dealing with it, which I think is probably the best thing. You know, it's got the whole tarot theme.
It does.
And that's,
yeah, you're right.
you know, so I wanted, because, you know, Bard has a soft spot somewhere in there for me. I'd never played a Bard until 5th edition because I hated Bards in 3.5. And I don't know why, but I didn't like them.
Because they were terrible.
Yeah, probably.
Bards are even terrible in Pathfinder, which is insane to me. They did so many things to try to update the Bard to be good, and I read through the class and I was like, this is still kind of shit. Even with dirges and stuff, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So I think I would have liked more of a theme of uncontrolled power, not like randomized power, maybe. That is randomized power, but more uncontrolled, unknowable channeling of the unknown.
Yeah.
I think would fit better for me. But like, I don't know how you do that for everybody.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. Like, you want them to feel in control, like, unless it's really a wild magic or a randomized whatever. So I'm not saying put more RNG in there, because I do not like that in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would have been cool for more unknowable powers. Like the great old one, Warlock, to me fits better.
Yeah. Like someone who's
Right.
I like all of this, and I think it's fun
Yeah.
and good theming, but it's good theming literally for a monster party.
Yeah, which could definitely be fun.
Yeah. If you are the horror monsters, then these are the subclasses for you. If you're trying to play in a game where you're supposed to be scared of the things around you or working alongside others, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and just recommend that you look at the Drakkenheim books, because all of their subclasses are kind of awesome from everything I've ever seen.
Yep. Definitely agree.
Check out Dungeon Dudes. Look at all their work. It's pretty good, and it's like the theme is corrupting, right? Rather than the theme here. I mean, there is like a half corruption theme for like half of these, but the other half just seems to be like universal monster playset.
Yeah. Undead vitality. A lot of undead vitality. And channeling that, removing vitality from people, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Draining them.
Yeah.
Of essence. So.
Of their juice.
Yeah. Yeah, of their juice. You have to protect your juice.
You do. You really do have to. Remember, everybody, as you're going out there throughout this weekend, don't forget to tell your mom you love her. Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
But also, protect your juice.
Yeah. Don't let anyone drain your juice.
We fully missed the Rogue Phantom. How dare you? We fully missed the Rogue Phantom. We did. And honestly, I think that's telling. Let's just move from there.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine.
Yeah. It basically got a few tweaks here and there, but nothing terribly of note that I can see, other than the way that you interact with your trinkets is a little more sussed out, so that you don't just have to watch things get murdered every day. Still waiting for them to make a new Whispers Bard.
Yes, that would fit perfectly in here if you're the monster. But why, oh why, is level 9 when you get your tokens? Why, WotC? Do I have to wait till level 9 to get soul trinkets?
No,
Like,
that's not true. Wait. Yeah, wait.
yeah. Yeah. So until level 9, here's what you have as a rogue phantom. Level 3, Wails from the Grave. Immediately after you deal your sneak attack damage to a creature on your turn, you can target a second creature that you can see within 30 feet of the first creature.
Oh, and you don't have
Roll
to spend a
half the
trinket
number
for
of
that
sneak attack.
anymore.
Yes, so that's free. That's cool.
Okay.
Right? Roll half the number of sneak attack dice, and then they take necrotic damage as the Wails of the Dead hit them. You can use this
good.
number.
We're dealing necrotic damage to undead again.
Yep. You can use it a number of times equal to your dexterity modifier, long rest. Then Whispers of the Dead, which is also level 3, so you get 2 things at level 3, so whatever, but you don't get anything until level 9 after
this. Is the old thing where you just basically, a ghost tells you how to do
exactly
horticulture.
So right now, up until level 9 with your subclass, the thing that you get that isn't the skill monkey thing is when I sneak attack, I can do half that damage to someone else. Okay.
Cool.
And then level 9 is the cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, the thematic, because it's like advantage on death saving throws and using that thing we just said, the Wails from the Grave without expending a use, right? If you have a trinket or casting augury. So it's like, I am mad that it takes to level 9, but then also, like even when I get to level 9, I'm not like, oh gosh, I need so many of these.
Okay, and then Death Snell is essentially you can spend a trinket to not use a use of it, which I'm guessing is your dexterity mod. That's fun.
Yep.
That's weird.
Yep.
They made it dex and not int or wisdom. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Right. So it's like, cool. I mean, the trinkets are useful.
Yeah.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Like, it's a question.
Mm-hmm.
You can cast Speak with Dead once, but that doesn't cost a trinket.
Yeah.
I don't like these trinkets. They power things I don't care about.
Yeah,
so I guess it doesn't matter that I don't get them till 9.
I mean, having advantage on death saving throws and constitution saving throws is nice. That's passive.
It's still, yeah, and that's great that it's passive, right? You don't even, well, no, you need to use the soul trinket. While you don't use it, you have to at least have
while
one.
you have
that's right.
one. Yeah, so
yeah,
there's that. Speak Dead without casting a spell, requiring no components, using Dex as your spell. Why do they care what your spellcasting modifier is for Speak with Dead? Are people going to counterspell your Speak with Dead? Is that what we're doing?
Maybe the dead can resist now.
I will say, using a feature that is essentially just you can cast this once on a short rest, guys.
Yeah.
I guess it's fine.
Yeah, it has no save, so yeah, I guess just yeah. I guess it's just if someone wants to counterspell you, yeah.
Yeah. And then Ghost Walk, bonus action, Ghostly Form. Benefits for 10 minutes. Once you use this feature, long rest. Fly speed 10
unless
feet.
you use a soul trinket.
Yeah. Oh, unless you use a soul trinket?
Yeah, so that's what recharges that.
Yeah, to restore
long rest or until you expand. Attack rolls have disadvantage against you. That's cool though. Like you fly 10 feet, slow fly, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then you can, you're incorporeal.
That's all very boring to me. I don't know.
Yep. Oh, and your capstone. Okay, so trinkets weren't very important or interesting, but at level 17, what can I do? The first one, Death's Lament. When I use that Wails from the Grave, half damage from my sneak attack to someone else, I can deal the necrotic damage to both the first and the second creature. Instead of, being piercing and then necrotic. Okay, but hold on. Yeah. But hold on. Last one. Draw of death. Capstone of the capstone, baby. What we got? When you roll initiative, you regain 1 soul trinket if you have none remaining. To do
Oh,
what with?
have
For
advantage
what?
on con saves.
Yeah, I guess that's exactly what it would do. You're right. Yeah. I'll regenerate that one, so I have advantage on con saves. Yep.
I mean, thank God though, Charles, because let's remember, there's a universe where we just get that at level 17.
You're right. At the very least, you got something else with it. But yeah, this is so boring.
I I will say, honestly, this is, I'm calling it very boring and I'm being really shitty about it, but when you look at this is about the juiciest RP rogue.
Yes, right.
As an
I
RP rogue, you
still like,
cannot beat this one.
yeah, I still like the whole the psychic thrower one. I love that one just because I like it. Right? What is that?
Psi
Soul
Knife?
knife. Soul
Soul
knife.
Knife. I like
Yeah,
Soul
yeah,
Knife
yeah,
and I love obviously Whispers Bard, which is my favorite rogue.
yeah, yeah.
Because it comes with a full spell slot list, and I can still deal sneak
Yep.
attack damage.
Mm-hmm.
But I think all of this is hilariously underpowered, but great, like
Yeah,
flavor,
yeah. It is great flavor.
and
I
also
just, I just. Mhm.
ghost walk for 10 minutes through a place to case it. That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
it's really awesome, and I guess that they couldn't really like what I feel that it's begging for, absolutely positively begging for, is to use a trinket to get another die and sneak attack. Right? The spite from the dead bites you with my sneak attack. Are you kidding me? Why is that not here? Especially because you can use dice of sneak attack to do different things nowadays.
What
Why
I
is that not here?
what I would say is make it so that Whales from the Grave can be applied to the same dude instead of split if you give a trinket.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be perfect. Like right there.
Yeah.
You're using your trinkets, which, to be frank, there's not really a good reason to use them. Like, you already have your dexterity modifier, motherfucker. You know that's a
The
4,
best
a
ability of
5.
having a trinket on your person is life essence, and that's a passive one when you have one.
Yeah, it's like I'm really gonna be spinning these augury spells all day long, every day. Totally.
I mean, again, flavor
It's a
is
good spell.
there.
Don't get me wrong.
The level 9 is nothing but flavor. Casting Speak with Dead is stronger than I give it credit
It's
for
fun.
if you get to do it without spending any sort of component for it.
Hmm. It's fun, right?
Yep. Ghost Walk
But like,
is a exploration tool to the max and almost useless anywhere else.
you know, I didn't. I didn't even want to mention it because augury. Augury is a spell that you can cast, and it makes your DM. You ask a question, your DM tells you
Turns your
if
DM into a
you're
cheeky asshole, yeah.
yeah, yeah. You basically go, should we, if we do this, would it be good or bad? And they say it's good, it's bad, it's whatever. Built into the augury spell, which this doesn't deactivate, is the more you do it before you long rest, the worse the answers get. Why would I spend more than one soul trinket? The other way that I can spend my soul trinkets is this spell. I would never cast it a second time in the day. Why am I spending on it? Why is that even a consideration? Right? Like, each time you do it, it's a 25% chance of failure.
Or just misinformation too, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So it's like, what am I using these for? And I only have a maximum of 4. So you would think that it's worthwhile, right, to hold these and to use these and to use this as the thing that gives you your juice, right? You
Yeah.
juice these trinkets and then stuff comes out and you use that. Okay.
We're
I'm
doing
not
the
going to hit
juice
the nut
analogy
button this
again,
time.
all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Bringing
That
it in
one
as
that
a
one
late
was
ad.
strained.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was strained. But not sorry.
I know.
But
I wouldn't ask you to be.
yeah. But yeah, I just this is actually the one that I don't like the most.
Yeah,
That's really it.
I could see it. It doesn't have much of a place on a battlefield. It's a weird
Hmm.
randomized effect for Whales from the Grave. It's not randomized, but you know what I mean. It's like,
Yeah.
well, what if I sneak attack two people? It's like, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if nothing else, something that's probably being undervalued here is, oh, I can just hit someone squishy and then deal auto damage
Yes.
to the dude who's not squishy because I'm not going to hit his AC.
That's true. It's tactical, you know.
Yeah. There's a reason for it. But then also, if you're fighting one big bad, it's useless. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
You just have your sneak attack and then you Whales of the Grave the wall or something. I don't know. So if you ever play with
Wales is
a Phantom Rogue in your game and it actually ends up close to this, or also just if they're playing in the 2014 version. Oh, Mark, you're getting here right as we're wrapping up. Oh, man, good to
no.
see you.
Don't worry, we got a long one for you to go through.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
The horror UAs are the unearthed arcanas for the new D&D 2024. We've basically
Yep.
been talking about all the different. Well, let's do a little wrap up here. This was us
Sure.
having a conversation about the unearthed arcanas that just came out for the horror theming D&D set of subclasses. I think that
Yeah.
it's easy to say that we have a lot of things we like about them, mostly theme
Oh
wise,
yeah.
but there's a few strong ones that are fun, but there's also a lot of mistheming, I think, for a lot of
Hmm.
these. Whether it's because they feel like they're too strong to want to be what you want your players to play in a horror campaign,
Hmm.
or
I think that's a good way of explaining it. Yeah.
yeah, it's like these feel like the monsters for the horror campaign,
Yes.
not the protagonists who are having to fight them.
Hmm.
And so I don't know if that's just me seeing that or if there's something to that there.
Yeah. No, I would definitely agree with you there.
Yeah.
Like these are horror themed subclasses, not technically horror subclasses for a horror themed game.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know, strange in that way.
Yeah, it's interesting because I hadn't even thought of it until I was thinking of like playing Cursive Strahd, and I was like, if I play any single one of these in Cursive Strahd, I'm having a fantastic time because the things in Cursive
Oh yes.
Strahd are going to have a terrible time with me.
Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, but I don't know. I'm glad to see a lot of these back. I think that the Hexblade needs some work. They literally can't lock
Yeah.
the entirety of the subclass in.
Fine hex.
Mark, yeah, that's a good question. I would say that they are fine in a non-horror setting. I think it's
Oh
just
yeah.
the problem is the theming for all of them is having come from horror. So like you can have a horrifying character, and that's what I think these UAs
Yes.
are great for. But do you want to be the scary thing in the horror movie that you're watching as the protagonist, or would you rather be someone who's able to be scared? Like for me, I would rather.
Right.
I like playing Call of Cthulhu. I am a normal dude in
Right.
Call of Cthulhu. I could die at any time in Call of Cthulhu, and there have been many times where I have literally poked Kaylin in the face and said, "You have to kill me here," and she refuses.
Hmm. And all of not all of these subclasses, but most of these subclasses are about having in yourself undead vitality, being able to get back up, siphoning from people. So yeah, you are the monster in the monster film, and that's great. That's good. But if this is going to be in a horror themed setting, it's like, well,
I would caution
yeah, I guess so.
against you playing these in a game where you're trying to be scared.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
half of them are like two or three of them are literally immune to the frightened condition.
yeah. I had thought about that. That is completely correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Or strong to necrotic or
Hmm.
incorporeal or any other number of things that are just they're fun and they're thematic. I love
Yeah.
yeah, like exactly, Mark. They're great
Hmm.
anti-hero. Like If you want to be
Yeah.
Toxie from the Toxic Avenger,
Oh, sure.
this shit's right there. That's basically the Ranger.
Yeah.
100%. The Ranger from this would 100% just be like Toxic Avenger level.
Mm-hmm.
There is a bard actually. It honestly it was our favorite for being like a protagonist. It's College of Spirits. It has to do with Terraka and summoning spirits from the beyond in like a randomized way. It that one
Yeah.
we actually thought deserved to be in a horror campaign, but all the other ones,
Oh, yes.
yeah, I would say all the other ones are part of better as like a step outside of
Man,
the
I
campaigns.
love Spirits Bard in a horror campaign. I love Spirits Bard in a noir campaign. Just like I could see Rogue Phantom working so great in a mystery type thing,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
right?
Oh my
Like,
God, that would be
yeah,
you're an investigator, 100%.
right. Yeah. So like Bard and Rogue, I can see Rogue is just really weak with the abilities that it gets, other than it kind of makes you the one who is investigating. And that could be great.
Yeah.
But it's focusing on dexterity instead of intelligence, but that's whatever. That's fine. That's fine. You
I
don't want
mean,
to be more
yeah.
mad as a rogue.
I'm fine with that if only because God, Rogue always gets such a bad rap for being the
Mm-hmm.
class that has its spellcasting modifier be something that is not what they tech into.
Yeah, exactly.
So for them to finally
Yeah.
say screw it, it's Dex, I'm like, good, fine, yeah. I don't think that that's thematically correct, but I think that mechanically that's appropriate. Yeah, I would love to see
I was gonna.
a College of Spirits Bard and Phantom Rogue buddy cop. Like that just sounds
Oh
good.
yes. Oh yes. Is that a version of Psych?
It kind of is. Wait, which one's Gus?
I don't. Nobody has super smell,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, that could be fun. And like the warlocks almost fit because you're in service to the horror thing, so that's why you have a bit of it. But that's more like Vampire Hunter D getting into that, or Blade.
Yeah.
Use the stones to destroy the stones, or fighting fire with fire. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
and I
It's
guess
very
so.
Mark said it, anti-hero material, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Like
For
these are
sure.
all great anti-heroes, but I would
Oh
caution
yeah.
against having a whole party of these going into a horror campaign. Not the least of which because everything you do is necrotic damage, and all it takes is one thing to be immune to necrotic, and suddenly none of you do anything.
Nobody's having fun at that point.
Uh, Mark, I have seen the magicians. I know what you're referring to. Unfortunately, the
Oh
rogue
yeah.
doesn't cast spells with the spell
Yeah. If
casting
only. If only.
modifier. He just uses trinkets and things and like communes with
Yeah.
spirits with dexterity.
Yeah.
Eh,
They just need more uses for the trinkets, right?
yeah.
They just need more uses. And,
I
they could be non-combat uses, but just
augury.
something more.
Hey, Wheeler woe.
Yeah. 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 You could have given them more clairvoyance, like a scrying eye from one of these
Arcane eye.
things. Like,
Oh, give him a high level arcane
yeah,
eye. Screw level 9 speak with
absolutely.
dead. Level 17 arcane eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because what do they have right
Those
now?
could be
Like
amazing.
they're what is it that they do right now? It's at level a 13 they get ghost walk, which is 10-minute fly. I kind of like that one. Death's friend is
Yeah.
which one? When you roll initiative, you get a trinket back,
Yeah.
or when you use whales from the grave, you can deal necrotic damage for both. Make that into
Yeah.
arcane eye.
Yeah.
Give us
Yeah.
another cool spell. That's what I say.
Yeah. Really, really lean into the mystery aspect of that rogue
Ooh.
for sure.
Well, I hope it's not Necromancer Wizard subclass, Mark, because they didn't put it in here, even though it would be the most thematic wizard they could have chosen.
I'm
Charles was
okay.
talking earlier. He was very sad about it.
I'm
So.
okay. I'm okay. I'm not okay. But it's It will be okay. I don't get why it's in here other than it. If it needed more work, it would be in here, right? So maybe this book is going to have 9 subclasses in it. The artificer or the Eberron one has 5 technically. So
Yeah, I can't wait to see
oh,
how that
maybe.
goes because apparently that's all ready for print. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think this kind of wraps up our feelings on this
Yeah.
UA. Always happy to see a UA. I appreciate the amount of changes
Yes.
they did for stuff. Resurrect this.
And I think that there's a lot of fun stuff in here.
Yeah.
It is just a little weird theming wise for players in a horror game. But if you really want to add horror elements to your character, all of these are great.
Yeah.
In some way, you know.
I agree with that. So, I mean, they succeeded in that.
Yes.
I think we all. I would be very interested to take a turn at any of these. They definitely.
Mm-hmm.
They need to fix Hexblade somehow, but that's about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, those I think are pretty succinct feelings on all these classes. Charles, I'm sorry, we
Mm-hmm.
only talked for 3 hours.
Wow. I'm just I feel shortchanged.
I know. I'm really sorry, but also
That's fine.
I have to get up in the morning. We're gonna go have a for me birthday breakfast
Nice.
with the Ticky's Rents, and then we're gonna go up to do a backyard Ren Fair thing all day, and then
Nice.
we're gonna have people over, and then we're gonna go do Ren Fair again on Sunday. And then I took off Monday because that's my actual birthday, and I would like to be 40 quietly. So
Yes. Yes. And you deserve however you would like to ring that in.
mm-hmm.
Uh now I used to, this is just some lore of the friend group. I used to try and get to everyone on their 30th. Right? I tried
Mm-hmm.
to. It wasn't always because I live on the other side of the country now. Uh but I owe you one, which means the next time I see you,
Uh-huh.
prepare.
Oh, oh,
Prepare.
well,
Prepare. I
I
don't know
don't
what we'll do, but prepare.
I don't know that I have any amount that I could, but I can't wait. All right. And with that,
Yeah.
I think we will call this shoot the shit to a close.
Mm-hmm.
I've been updating more frequently, and mostly because I hadn't been updating as much as I should have on the YouTube channel. If anybody wants to go there to watch some of our stuff, you and I and
Mm-hmm.
Philip had a talk that was just a grab bag a few months ago, or
Yep.
over a few things a few months ago, and then we did a grab bag a month ago, and then we've played
Mm-hmm.
2 sessions of Fabula Ultima, one that was a session
Yes.
0 and one that was a session 1. Session 0 should be up by today on the YouTube channel, and session 1 will be going up next week, and then I'll post this the following week on there. So
Mm-hmm.
that'll all be up. I know that D and Diablo, I think, has finalized.
I think so.
Mark,
I didn't get the update.
we still don't have a Discord. I think we
Um,
kind of all got really busy as far as like for a fan Discord. So
yeah. No, yeah, I remembered that ask coming around. Yeah, we should
we'll
think
definitely
about
look
that in the
into
next
it.
couple
We
of weeks.
just life
Yeah.
got in the way for like the last 5 months for us. So once we do have anything like that though, we'll definitely have an announcement for it. We're gonna be playing more Fabula Ultima. So in
For
2
sure.
weeks we will likely be picking back up where we left off for that with me, Charles, Denitra, and Philip. And then
Mm-hmm.
I know that Splinters of Faith is still going on next week,
Still go.
right?
Yep, should be next week, I
Philip
believe.
should be back, yeah.
Yep, he'll be back for that.
Cool.
And yeah, D and Diablo is over, but I hear tell that there is another game that will be started at some point. I think streaming here.
And if nobody
If
else
not,
eats that slot, oh boy, I could be a hungry boy if I want.
yeah, you could. You could. We could do a couple of one shots and systems that people want to see.
Don't tempt,
right. So
yeah, don't tempt me with a good time. We could grab you and have you do your draw steal.
Yeah, I'm not shilling. I'm not a shill. Right. However, I did get this thing.
Oh, the dice the Lord Protectors. What is it
Uh,
called?
Good King Omens. Yeah.
Good King
So
Omens.
this is the box of dice for Draw Steel for
Mm-hmm.
the characters that are in it. It wasn't like crazy expensive. It finally got to me this week, but they're just dice, man. But I liked them because they were cool.
Yeah.
Don't know if you can still get them if you want them. We haven't really played Draw Steel, so why would you want them until we play them? So that's just reminding me to one of these days do that. I started doing that on Foundry. I
Mm-hmm.
found some stuff that people made, and then it just proved to be very annoying. So I was waiting. I think
Yeah.
it's better now, but I don't know for sure. I'd have to
They're.
double check.
I know they're improving the stuff for Fabula every day, but yeah.
Yes, they are. Draw Steel's not even out yet, so that's why.
And they're gonna have their own VTT anyway, so likely we will be able to play it on whatever they come out
Yeah,
with it on, which I can't
yeah,
wait. Um,
yeah,
so,
absolutely.
so that probably waiting in the wings at some point. We're probably gonna play a
Yep.
solid. I want to say we'll at least get a solid 5 of Fabula Ultima in, and then see how
Mm-hmm.
we feel.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love the system. I'm starting to see a few limitations that I'm gonna have to stretch things on, maybe, but
Mm.
um, I'm having fun with it, and definitely, I also played it with my Monday night crew because with Philip out,
Yeah.
we had like 2 weeks that we just had to figure something out. And I said, I can just run you guys a one shot, and I'm running them through you guys' module. So
Yeah, it makes sense.
it
I
they
mean,
actually they did something very interesting with the way that they did differently than you all, and the way that dice rolls went
mm,
differently.
mm.
We did look at Project Sigil a little bit.
Oh
We have
yes,
not
yeah,
actually we talked about it when it came when it Quiet Quitting released, basically.
yeah,
We want to take a look and do something with that to see how good it is just on its own, but we haven't touched it yet on the
yeah.
channel. That would definitely be a one shot that I would be wanting to run though, is we could run a 2024 one shot and have use of Project Sigil to see how it's Sigil they called it, to see how
Yeah,
good it
Sigil, yeah.
is with what they have there, because
Yeah, we
it's
could
free to
definitely do
anybody
that.
with a membership. So
Yeah, that sounds like fun. A friend and former coworker of mine worked on it. Does not anymore, like a whole lot of people. So I've always been interested in looking into it. So yeah, that's a good one.
but yeah, so that's another one that's for the books. And then other than that, there's still Splinters of Faith. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Probably more shoot the shit. If we end up separating the Fabula Ultima out from that, then we'll just start doing more other shoot the shit stuff on the time
Yep.
slot, and we'll see where we go from there. But this is
Mm-hmm.
Plus One Shoot the Shit. We are part of Plus One Shot. My name is James. My good friend over here,
Hi, I'm
Charles.
Charles.
Yeah, and we'll be back for more later. Um, Thanks everybody for hanging out. Hope you have a great night. See you again soon.
See ya.